can't obviously believe that Watchman, Yahoo, and Deborah did not pay me to do the intro for Whited Out 4 to deceive the masses. The true Israelites are the so-called blacks, so-called Hispanics, and Native Americans scattered throughout the earth. The Judah team has an agenda to make all the tribes Hamite. Matthew 24:4 says, to take heed that no man deceive you. Oh. And I'm not really Jesus.
In the nation of Israel, it always continues to keep us in subduction or being subdued to our nation, to our enemies. Okay? Period. You want to be anti-Campbellites, right? Or camps against the anti-Campbellites. I mean, y'all the ones that's against camps. Okay? This school against that school. That brother against that brother. No division, I mean, you're all divided because there's supposed to be one nation. One love, one nation, one king. That's why MASHAYACH is trying to gather all brothers and sisters that are Hebrew Israelites, believing Israelites, to gather themselves to the 8th Hebrew Israelite Summit. Okay? For us to be one nation. Okay? Alright? Period. We're one nation.
That's right.
And we should not be hating each other. We shouldn't be damn condemning each other. We're supposed to be fighting and standing up against our enemies. Period. All this division has been happening. It's nothing new. Read that part.
Real men of valor, we stand firm and rise. For this truth we put our lives on the line. We're prepared for war, fearing no confrontation. We hit them highways and byways to wake up the whole nation. We teach His word, we teach His will, we teach His truth, don't matter how you feel. We teach His word, we teach His will. You gon' hear this verse, now tell me how you feel.
Viewers' discretion.
So we get back to Jerusalem, my brothers and my sisters. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Yeah. To Jerusalem. So we get back. Shalom, shalom. He said, after everything that we've been through, we didn't find out we are the Jews, part of the lost tribes of Israel. We're going back to the land where we fell. It's gonna be a beautiful place. A beautiful place. With maids and servants all around. Can't wait to return to our land. We're part of the lost tribes, and now we've been found. Someday we're gonna return back to Jerusalem. Shalom. It's time to get ready. Someday we're gonna return. YAHAWASHI. Jerusalem. Shalom. Leading the way. And queens again, with precious jewels and beautiful garments, sipping on the best wine. In that day, the Israelites will shine, and I can't wait to see my people so righteous.
All praise and all glory to Abnau Yahawah, Bahasham, HaMashiach YAHAWASHI. This is your brother, Muharaka, Bunyawara, Bunyasha'ala, representing Abanawi YAHAWASHI MASHAYACH YAHAWASHI, Army of Israel, E37 in the Valley, if you're ready. One love, one nation, one king. And to my left,
Captain Yahada.
and to my right,
Lieutenant Tazawar.
so all praise and all glory as we enjoy the Feast of Dedication, also known as the Feast of Hanukkah. Okay? Also the Feast of Lights, as you see that we have lights. Okay? Oh, so again, all praise and glory to Abanawi YAHAWASHI MASHAYACH. We're going to go into a segment of the history of Hanukkah. Okay? And so if anyone out there go out and purchase this book, okay, the Josephus, okay, which was an Israelite, right? He's one of the priests, as a matter of fact, okay? All right? A lot of history about, extended history about the nation of Israel, okay? And he's going to be speaking concerning about a missing 400 to 500 years of history that's not in the canon Bible as we know today. They have taken out a book called the what? Oops, Apocrypha, okay? Right? Which Apocrypha means hidden, all right? So there's 14 books that has been added to this hidden journal, okay? It's First Ezra, Second Ezra, Tobit, Judith, the rest of Esther, the Wisdom of Solomon, Ecclesiastes, better known as Sirach, Baruch with the Epistle of Jeremiah, the Song of the Three Holy Children, the History of Susanna, Bel and the Dragon, the Prayer of Manasseh, First Maccabees and Second Maccabees, okay? And so we're going to be, through the course of the rest of the Hanukkah, we're going to be going through the book of Maccabees, all right? Going into the history of the Greek Empire conquering us, okay? Conquering the three tribes, Judah, Benjamin, Levi, at that time, okay? Under the commanding general or leader at the time, Matthias Maccabees, and his sons Judas Maccabees, Simon Maccabees, and the rest of those brothers, okay? All right? So before we go there, we're going to read biblical prophecy concerning a particular man that was promised to come, or prophesied to come, okay? Once again, this is the Army of Israel, E37, the future ready, one love, one nation, one king, all right? So I'm going to go to the book of Daniel. We're going to go to the book of Daniel, the 8th chapter. Go to the book of Daniel, the 8th chapter, okay? Book of Daniel, the 8th chapter, if I'm not mistaken, okay? We're going to read Daniel 8 and 1 on down, okay? All right? Daniel the 8th chapter, we're going to read the first verse on down, okay? Yeah, bring it out.
We're in the book of Daniel, chapter 8, verse 1. In the 3rd year of the reign of King Belshazzar, a vision appeared unto me, even unto me Daniel, after that which appeared to me at the first. Verse 2. And I saw in a vision, and it came to pass, when I saw that I was at Shushan in the palace, which is in the province of Elam. And I saw in a vision, and I was by the river of Ulai. Verse 3. Then I lifted up mine eyes and saw, and behold, there stood before the river a ram, which had 2 horns, and the 2 horns were high, but one was higher than the other, and the higher came up last.
So we're going to find out who is this ram with these 2 horns, okay? Go ahead.
Verse 4. I saw the ram pushing westward and northward and southward, so that no beast might stand before him. Neither was there any that could deliver out of his hand. But he did according to his will, and became great.
Okay, go ahead.
Verse 5. And as I was considering, behold, an he-goat came from the west on the face of the whole earth, and touched not the ground. And the goat had a notable horn between his eyes.
Right. So now after this ram, okay, did according to his will, it became great. Right? In the 4th verse, then it's mentioned about a he-goat, okay, and had notable horn between his eyes. Okay.
Verse 6. And he came to the ram that had 2 horns, which I had there seen standing before the river, and ran into him in the fury of his power.
So ran into this goat ran into the ram with the fury of its power. Okay? Right? So that means it conquered. They had a struggle, a fight, a confrontation. Alright? Read.
Verse 7. And I saw him close unto the ram, and he was moved with shoulder against him, and smote the ram, and brake his 2 horns. And there was no power in the ram to stand before him, but he cast him down to the ground, and stamped upon him. And there was none that could deliver the ram out of his hand.
Good.
Verse 8. Therefore the he-goat waxed very great. And when he was strong, the great horn was broken, and for it came up for notable ones toward the 4 winds of heaven.
For what?
Winds of heaven.
Yeah.
Verse 9. And out of one of them came forth a little horn, which waxed exceedingly great toward the south, and toward the east, and toward the pleasant land.
So, for all those out there that have a problem with the Feast of Dedication, or Hanukkah, or Hanukkah, okay, or the Feast of Lights, and saying that's not in the Bible, well, you're going to be corrected this evening during these series of what is Hanukkah, okay, or Hanukkah. It's in the Bible, okay? It's in the Bible. All right? And we're going to expose these truths. The scriptures tell you that even the mysteries which have been hidden from ages or from generations are now made manifest to the saints. And we're going to show the 400 to 500 missing history that was deliberately taken out of the Bible. Okay? And yes, there's a holiday, a holy day, called the Feast of Dedication, or what you know as Hanukkah, Hanukkah, or the Feast of Lights. Okay? And this is the beginning and origin of this Memorial Day that we celebrate, all right, for 8 days. All right? And we're currently in the 5th day. Okay? I think the 4th day, if I'm not mistaken. Okay? 22nd, 3rd, 4th. Today is what, Monday?
So
We started 22nd evening, Friday to the evening be 1, Saturday to the evening be 2, Sunday to the evening be 3, and Monday to the evening be 4. We're in the 4th day. Okay? From evening on to evening. Thursday evening to Friday evening is 1, Friday evening, Saturday evening is 2, Saturday evening, Sunday evening is 3, Sunday evening is 4. Okay? Alright, let's do it. Let's go.
Verse 10. And it waxed great.
Somebody call. Hallelujah. Shalom. Shalom.
Shalom, brother. We're in the book of Daniel, chapter 8, verse 10.
Shalom.
And it
We're in
waxed.
the book of Daniel, chapter 8, verse 10. Okay?
And it waxed great, even to the host of heaven.
Shalom, brother. We hear you.
And it cast down some of the host and of the stars to the ground, and stamped upon them.
Yeah.
Verse 11. Yea, he magnified himself even to the prince of the host, and by him the daily sacrifice was taken away, and the place of his sanctuary was cast down. Verse 12. And the host was given him against the daily sacrifice by reason of transgression, and they cast down the truth to the ground.
And they cast down the truth to the ground. Okay. Excuse me, we are in a live conference call. It's being recorded. So if anybody's making extra noise, you need to mute your phone. Thank you. Yeah, brother.
We in the book of Daniel, chapter 8, verse 12. And a host was given him against a daily sacrifice by reason of transgression, and it cast down the truth to the ground. And it practiced it and prospered.
And it practiced and prospered. Okay? Alright? So, this particular empire or ruler, okay, cast the truth down. Okay? And we know that the truth is what? The law. And the law was given to who?
Israel.
Israel. Okay? So Israel was cast down to the ground. Okay? Yeah?
Verse 13. Then I heard one saint speaking, and another saint said unto that certain saint which spake, how long shall be the vision concerning the daily sacrifice and the transgressions of desolation, to give both the sanctuary and the host to be trodden underfoot?
Okay, so now it's telling you that it's something that's going to be happening. So we have to remember throughout we're going through the history of Hanukkah about this verse here. Remember the 13th verse. How long should be the vision concerning the daily sacrifice and the transgression of desolation, to give both the sanctuary and the host, which is Israel, to be trodden underfoot. Okay, 14.
Verse 14. And he said unto me, unto 2,300 days.
Unto 2,300 days. Get it?
Then shall the sanctuary be cleansed.
Okay, then shall the sanctuary be clean. Okay, so I need you to calculate that number into how many years that would be. Okay, all right. So you can go into your calculator or whatever the case is and get that number for me and write it down on the side there for me. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So you didn't finish reading while you do that.
What was it?
We in 15, brother. Stay with us, huh?
15. Verse 15. And it came to pass, when even I, Daniel, had seen the vision, and sought for the meaning, then, behold, there stood before me as the appearance of a man. Verse 16. And I heard a man's voice.
You heard a man's voice, God,
between the banks of Eula, which called and said, Gabriel, make this man to understand the vision.
God. So Gabriel was not only during the time of Daniel, Gabriel popped up during the time of who? In the New Testament. Daniel was not only popped up during the time of Daniel in his vision to give an explanation, but he also was mentioned in the New Testament concerning who? MASHAYACH. Okay? Yeah?
So, it's verse 17. So he came near where I stood, and when he came, I was afraid and fell upon my face. But he said unto me, understand, O son of man, for at the time of the end shall be the vision.
So for at the time of the end shall be the vision. Okay? Okay.
Verse 18. Now as he was speaking with me, I was in a deep sleep on my face toward the ground. But he touched me and set me up right.
Yeah.
Verse 19. And he said, behold, I will make thee know what shall be in the last end of the indignation.
The indignation, key word, indignation, yeah?
For at the time appointed the end shall be.
For at the time appointed shall the end be. So we're going to stop there because the 20th verse goes into breaking down. Matter of fact, read it. Read it.
Verse 20. The ram which thou sawest having 2 horns are the kings of Media and Persia.
Right, so those 2 horns that the ram had in his head were the kings of who?
Persia. Media and Persia.
Right, so this was the dual kingdom which made up the kingdom which was Elam, the Elamites, East Indians, okay, and Ishmael. Okay, this is a dual kingdom. Get it?
Verse 21. And the rough goat is the king of Grecia.
Who's the rough goat?
See.
Read it again. Who's the rough goat?
Is the king of Grecia.
Is the king of Grecia. Get it? The Greeks. Get it?
And the great horn.
And the great what?
Horn.
And the great horn
that is between his eyes is the first king.
Is the first king. So anybody that did any history, okay? Well, this is a book called The Greek Myths. So it's going into the idolatry, and this is going to show you how much they indoctrinated or Hellenized the people that they conquered over this particular period, okay? So the first king of the Greeks were who? I'm going to ask sister right there. Who's the first king of the Greeks? Who's the first king of the Greeks?
Alexander.
Alexander the Great. We're going to see. So the Bible just prophesied Alexander the Great. But let's make it nice and clear and simple because he's written in the Bible. We just read him in the Bible. So we're going to stop here and come back to this. Okay? And we're going to read in the Josephus. Okay? We're going to read in the Josephus. Let me get the Josephus right quick. Okay? We're going to read in the Josephus, chapter 7. Okay? Get that right there. We're going to read in Antiquities of the Jews. Alright? You're going to go to chapter 7. Or you're going to get that. Chapter 7. Let me just get it over here. Okay. Chapter 7. Okay, what it says? Chapter 7. Chapter 7. So Antiquities of the Jews, chapter 7. And yeah, I'm looking for Antiquities of the Jews, chapter of book 11. So it's book 11. Book 11. Antiquities of the Jews, book 11. It's chapter 6, okay? Or chapter 7. Okay. So let's read what you got there. Alright. Start with verse 1.
Okay, we're in the book of Josephus, chapter 7, verse 1. When Eliashib, the high priest, was dead, his son Judas succeeded in the high priesthood. And when he was dead, his son John took that dignity, on whose account it was also that Magoses, the general of another Artaxerxes' army, polluted the temple and imposed tributes on the Jews, that out of the public stock, before they offered the daily sacrifice.
Hold on, now we just read about daily sacrifices, okay? We just read about daily sacrifices in the Bible. Okay, so that's why I said, remember these key themes, alright? So now when Elizabeth the high priest was dead, his son Judas succeeded in the high priesthood. And when he was dead, his son John took that dignity, on whose account was also that Bogoas, the general of another of Azerskis' army, polluted the temple, imposed tribulation on the Jews, and out of the public stock before they offered the daily sacrifices. Go ahead.
They should pay for every lamb 50 shekels.
So they have to pay for every lamb 50 shekels. That's what you pay for the dowry of virgins. 50 shekels. Okay? Yeah.
Now YAHAWASHI was a brother of John.
Hold up, where you at? The cause of this was the following event. Okay? That's not MASHAYACH YAHAWASHI. This is a brother by the name of YAHAWASHI or Jesus. Okay? Yeah. or Joshua in English. Yeah?
Okay. Now YAHAWASHI was a brother of John and was a friend of Bagosa, who had promised to procure him in the high priesthood.
Right, so let's remember this now. Joshua YAHAWASHI, which is now MASHAYACH YAHAWASHI, was the brother of John. So he was two brothers. Okay? Jesus and John were brothers. Okay? Yeah.
In confidence of whose support YAHAWASHI quarreled with John in the temple, and so provoked his brother, that in his anger his brother slew him.
Okay, so read it from the top again. When it said YAHAWASHI and Jesus.
Okay, now YAHAWASHI was a brother of John and was a friend of Bagosa.
So YAHAWASHI was the brother of John and was a friend of a guy named Bagoas. Yeah.
Who had promised to procure him in the high priesthood.
So Bagoas obviously had to have some power and influence to promise him that he was going to have the high priesthood. Okay? Because his brother John was the high priest at the time, right? Yeah.
In confidence of whose support YAHAWASHI.
Let's read it as it is there.
Okay, Jesus quarreled with John.
So Jesus quarreled with his brother John in the temple. So they had an argument between two brothers fighting about this position. Okay? All right? But please don't make me yawn. Yeah.
And so provoked his brother, that in his anger his brother slew him.
That in his anger his brother slew him. Sound like a Cain and Abel here. Okay? Yeah.
Now it was a horrible thing for John when he was high priest to perpetuate such a great crime. So great a crime. And so much the more horrible that there never was so cruel and impious a thing done.
See that? So they're going to, one, Cain killed Abel from the beginning. So they will say that never happened before. Okay? Right? You had men that killed their brothers. But in the temple, it's something different. Because they was in the temple of the Most High. Okay? So that in his anger, his brother slew him. Now, it was a horrible thing for John when he was high priest. So this is a high priest to perpetrate so great a crime, right? Being the high priest and he murdered his own brother or killed his own brother, because that's murder.
Right.
Okay, that's his own brother. There's no justification for him having an argument with his brother and murder him. And a lot of us murder each other daily, whether it's not physical but verbally. Okay, we murder each other. All right, we wish death, evil on each other, hatred, right? All these different things, man. Okay, so as a nation, we got a lot to go. We have a lot to learn. Okay, yeah.
Neither by the Greeks nor barbarians.
So they're trying to say that the heathens, okay, never did these things. All right, yeah.
However, YAHAWAH did not neglect its punishment, but the people were on that very account enslaved. And the temple was polluted by the Persians.
So YAHAWAH did not neglect its punishment, but the people were on that very account enslaved. So the Most High enslaved Israel, right? And the temple was polluted by who?
The Persians.
The Persians. So you read about the Persian and Medes Empire in high school. And now we're reading about the Persian and Medes in the Bible, because it's written in the book of Isaiah. Okay? The Persian and Mede history is written in the Bible. Alright? So they tell you during a timeline of history, they go from the Egyptians, they go to Babylon, then the Egyptians, right? Then they go to the Assyrian, then they go to the Babylonian, then they go to the Persian and Mede, then they go to the Greeks, then they go to the Romans, then they come up to America. But in all of that, they never mention the children of Israel. Why the kingdom of Israel is not mentioned when the Egyptians fell to the Israelites?
Huh?
How you missed that one?
Public school system.
The Israelites conquered all the known kingdoms from that point up to the Assyrians. Okay? Now they've been in captivity, in many captivities under the certain nations. But where's the history of them? It's in the what? Bible. Okay? That's why they took out the history. That's why they took out the history. Because they know they already promoted the history. So they can't go against the history that they put out in the history books. Because they're celebrating themselves.
Exactly.
Alright? So what you're going to learn is the history that they didn't want you to learn concerning Alexander the Great and his homage to YAHAWASHI MASHAYACH. Okay? Yeah.
Now when Bagoses, the general of
Where you at?
Artaxerxes' army,
Okay, what are you talking about? Xerxes?
Artaxerxes.
Yeah.
Okay, now when Bagoses, the general of Artaxerxes' army, knew that John...
Yeah, that's like in the movie 300, Xerxes. Right? They just got it Artaxerxes, whatever the case is. Get it?
Knew that John, the high priest of the Jews, had slain his own brother Jesus in the temple, he came upon the Jews immediately and began in anger to say to them, have you had the impudence to perpetrate a murder in your temple?
Right, so the heathen even came and checked Israel and said, you're going to perpetrate a murder in Yahweh's temple, your own temple. Yeah.
And as he was aiming to go into the temple, they forbade him to do so. Okay?
Right, because no heathen is supposed to go into the temple. How about that? No heathen is supposed to go in the temple. Okay? But you can murder your brother in the temple. Right? Yeah.
But he said to them, am not I purer than he that was slain in the temple?
Cut him. Okay? And I'm not purer than he that was slain in the temple. Because now the person that was slain in the temple, the blood is all over the temple, so the temple is defiled. Okay? Yeah.
And when he had said these words, he went into the temple accordingly. Accordingly, Bagoses made use of this pretense and punished the Jews 7 years for the murder of Jesus. So
these dudes, these heathens, okay, Bagoses punished Israel for 7 years for that. The Most High allowed it to happen first and foremost, okay? And punished Israel 7 years for that murder, okay? Yeah.
Verse 2. Now when John had departed this life, his son Jaddua succeeded in the high priesthood. He had a brother.
So here's another brother. So John continued to be the high priest and he passed away. Now his son is taking the seat of the high priest. And only a Aaronite could be a high priest. That's why it's going down the line, the son's lines. Okay?
He had a brother whose name was Manasseh. Now there was one, Sanballat, who was sent by Darius, the last king of Persia.
All right, so here we go, going into the history of the timeline. So now we know that King Darius is the last king to sit on the throne of the Persian and Medes. Okay? So we can start going into the history of the beginning of the Persian rule, knowing that Darius is the last king. So even when you read in the Bible, when we read in the book of Daniel, the chapters are so jumbled up and mixed up that you go from Cyrus to Darius to Nebuchadnezzar, you're going back to Babylon. It's just all over the place. Okay? That's why you don't get the full understanding, because the Bible has been mixed up. Okay? It's not in a chronicle order. Okay? You have to put the scriptures in order and a timeline to get the proper history and the events that was happening. Okay? Because you got the history of the Persians in the book of Ezra. That's in the beginning of the Bible. Okay? So the Bible, the prophets, you get the various prophets that was in various captivities that was prophesying during particular times in these captivities. See what I'm saying? So the Bible is not no damn book you just read from front to end and thinking you don't get any understanding. And you think you got everything. That's not possible. That's not happening. Okay? So again.
Who was sent by Darius, the last king of Persia, unto Samaria.
So if I ask the brothers out there, who was the last king of Persia? That's going to be on the test to see if thou are going to be able to answer it. Yeah.
He was a Cuthim.
A Cuthian
by birth, of which stock were the Samaritans also. This man knew that the city, Jerusalem, was a famous...
So now they want to try to say the man, he was a Cuthian by birth, of which stock were the Samaritans also. And we know, okay, that the Samaritans that was there during the time after the northern kingdom was taken out, the southern kingdom was taken down, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, they implanted heathens in that land. Africans and other nations in our land, in the land of Samaria and all that, after the northern kingdom was taken down, because that's the land of Ephraim. Okay? So all these nations have been implanted in our lands and was trying to call themselves Samaritans and things of that nature as well. You see what I'm saying? Again.
This man knew that the city Jerusalem was a famous city.
So this man knew because why? He grew up in our land. Okay, yeah.
And that their kings had given a great deal of trouble to the Assyrians.
Boom. So he goes into history. Okay, because the Assyrians took down who? The northern kingdom. Okay, took down the northern kingdom. So you read more about the northern kingdom, which make up the so-called Negro Western, the so-called Hispanics and Native American tribes. Okay, they was the one that was conquered and subdued by the Assyrian Empire. Okay, and you read more about that history when you go in and read the book of Judith, reading the book of Tobit. Okay, reading the book of Hosea, and these various books that goes into the northern kingdom. That's why you're not going to read about the northern kingdom or the 10 tribes during the time of the Greek Inquisition, nor the Roman Inquisition. Okay, but they're mentioned in John 11:48. Again.
And the people of Syria
in Syria, right? Syria, what else? Yeah.
Syria. Yes. Syria.
And what's that? Sicily, Syria. Madness. Yeah.
So that he willingly gave his daughter, whose name was Nicaso, in marriage to Manasseh.
Okay, so we want to remember who Sanballat is, because the script's going to tell you who he is. Okay? I know he was an African, this guy. And that proves that he was calling himself a Samaritan because they put Africans in that land. Let's prove that right quick. Go to 2 Kings, the 17th chapter. Go to 2 Kings, 17th chapter. Okay. 2 Kings 17. So we're going to read 17 and 22. Start with 21. Start with 20.
Okay. We're in the book of 2 Queen.
Let's start with 18. I keep going back and forth. Go back, boom, 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 boom. Yeah, bring it up.
We're in the book of 2 Kings, chapter 17, verse 18. Therefore, the Most High was very angry with Israel and removed them out of his sight. There was none left but the tribe of Judah only.
What?
There was none left but the tribe of Judah only.
There was none left of the tribe of Judah. Read it again, brother. Read it again.
Verse 18. Therefore the Most High was very angry with Israel and removed them out of his sight. There was none left but the tribe of Judah only.
So you people that say that Israel was always the northern kingdom was around, you're a damn liar. Okay? Because even when you go through the prophecies and the scriptures and the history, they're not mentioned. And Judah, it was Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. Okay, this to show you, to make sure you don't bug out your damn mind. Okay, when you go to 2 Corinthians, or 1 Kings 11, okay, or 2 Kings 11, I think it is. No, 1 Kings 11. Okay, it tells you that was Judah, Benjamin, and Levi that was left. Okay, after the kingdom was split. Okay, you get 1 Kings 11. You go over there, brother, and we're gonna read verse. We're gonna be in verse 12, chapter 12. I mean, chapter 12.
Chapter 12.
Right.
Verse.
And read. Start with verse 24. Because Rehoboam listened to the young men, and verses listen to the elder men and counsel concerning the kingdom of Israel. Okay, the northern kingdom. All right. So the Most High did that because Solomon went off with the 300 heathen wives and split the kingdom. So all this was biblical prophecy that was going to happen anyway. Okay. So this was the division of the kingdom of Israel. Okay, the nation of Israel. Chapter 12, verse 24.
This is the book of 1 Kings, chapter 12, verse 24. Thus saith the Elohim, ye shall not go up nor fight against your brethren, the children of Israel. Return every man to his house, for this thing is from me. They hearkened.
Okay, so they was going to make war against, it was going to be a internal civil war. This is a civil war in Israel. Okay? So I'm just trying to find, bear with me, I will come back to it and get the direct verse. Okay, but we're going to go back and read over here because I can't find. Matter of fact, jump over to verse 21. Jump up to 21.
Okay. Verse 21. And when Rehoboam was come to Jerusalem, he assembled all the house of Judah.
All the house of who?
Judah.
All the house of Judah, yeah.
With the tribe of Benjamin.
With who?
Benjamin.
With the tribe of Benjamin too. Okay? So not only did he have, it was Judah, but it was also who? Benjamin. Okay? So now when you go to, all right, let's go over here. Read down to okay. Jump down to verse when he kicked the northern kingdom, he kicked Levi out of the cities. That's what I want. All right. So all we know right now, we got Judah and Benjamin, okay, which we can prove with the scriptures, right? So now I'm just trying to link this up with what the brother was reading over there. Okay, so go back to what you was reading at before while I find that, okay?
We're in the book of 2 Kings, chapter 17, verse 18. Therefore the Most High was very angry with Israel and removed them out of his sight. There was none left but the tribe of Judah only. Verse 19. Also, Judah kept not the commandments of the Most High, their power, but walked in the statutes of Israel, which they made. Verse 20. And the Most High rejected all the seed of Israel and afflicted them, and delivered them into the hand of spoilers.
Spoilers, yeah.
Until he had cast them out of his sight.
Yeah.
Verse 21. For he rent Israel from the house of David. And they made Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, king, And Jeroboam drave Israel from following the Most High, and made them sin a great sin. Verse 22. For the children of Israel walked in all the sins of Jeroboam, which he did. They departed not from them. Verse 23. Until the Most High removed Israel out of his sight, as he had said by all his servants the prophets. So was Israel carried away out of their own land to Assyria unto this day.
It was carried onto Assyria onto this day, right? Okay. All right. So, that's not true onto this day. All right. We got a remnant of Israel, but the Bible tells you that the children of Israel was removed and left out of that land. Okay. All right. So, I want to get the scriptures to prove that Levi was Judah, Benjamin, Levi, but we'll come back to that. Okay. All right. So go back to what we was reading in the Josephus.
Okay, I'll start on verse 2. And now John had departed. We're in the book of Josephus, chapter 7, verse 2. Now when John had departed this life, his son, YAHAWAH, succeeded in the high priesthood. He had a brother whose name was Manasseh. Now there was one, Sanballat, who was sent by Darius, the last king of Persia. Remember that, it's going to be on the test. Into Samaria. He was a Cuthium by birth, of which stock were the Samaritans also. This man knew that the city Jerusalem was a famous city, and that their kings had given a great deal of trouble to the Assyrians. And the people of Syria, so that he willingly gave his daughter, whose name was Nicaso, in marriage to Manasseh, as thinking this alliance by marriage will be a pledge and security that the nation of the Jews should continue their good will to him.
I'm sorry, so I got a little distracted. Read that part again. Read everything that you read against Salah.
Okay, we're in the book of Josephus, chapter 7, verse 2. Now when John had departed this life, his son, YAHAWAH, succeeded in the high priesthood. He had a brother whose name was Manasseh.
Right.
Now there was one, Sanballat, who was sent by Darius, the last king of Persia, right, into Samaria. He was a Cuthium by birth, of which stock were the Samaritans also. This man
so remember that they trying to say Sanballat was of the stock of the Samaritans. Remember that, because it's going to come back to haunt him. Remember that, okay? And this guy is saying that he has a lineage to the Samaritans, okay, which that was in the land of Ephraim. Okay? Go ahead.
This man knew that the city Jerusalem was a famous city, and that their kings had given a great deal of trouble to the Assyrians. And the people of Cilicia, so that he willingly gave his daughter, whose name was Nicaso, in marriage to Manasseh, as thinking this alliance by marriage will be a pledge and security that the nation of the Jews should continue their goodwill to him.
So therefore, you had a heathen gave his daughter over to a high priest. Okay? So he could basically have control or influence of the high priesthood. Okay? Right? So this is going also into what was going on during the the book of Ezra, about the priests, right, in the book of Nehemiah, took heathen wives. Okay? That's what it's going to in Nehemiah. Let's get that right quick. Let's get that right quick to prove that right there. Okay? Nehemiah, I believe it's Nehemiah, the 12th chapter. Okay? All this is the history, because Nehemiah was doing what period? What period was Nehemiah doing? Nehemiah chapter 1 and 1. Get it. All this is history, man.
Nehemiah 1 and 1.
1 and 1.
Okay, we're in the book of Nehemiah, chapter 1, verse 1. The words of Nehemiah, the son of Hatshalah. And it came to pass in the month of Shislu, in the 20th year, as I was in Shushan the palace.
That was Shushan the palace. We just met about Shushan the palace, right?
Same place.
Right, same place. Okay. Yeah.
Verse 2. That Hanani, one of my brethren, came, and he and certain men of Judah, and I asked them concerning the Jews that had escaped, which were left of captivity, and concerning Jerusalem. Verse 3. And they said unto me, the remnant that are left of the captivity there in the province are in great affliction and reproach. The wall of Jerusalem also is broken down, and the gates thereof are burned with fire.
Okay, so stop there. Read chapter 2, verse 1. I'm going to show you how this history that we're reading in Josephus is right in the Bible. Okay? Verse 2, chapter 2, verse 1.
In the book of Nehemiah, chapter 2, verse 1. And it came to pass in the month of Nisan, in the 20th year of...
Who are we talking about?
The same
king.
Yep.
Artaxerxes. Right? Artaxerxes, yeah.
And it came to pass in the month of Nisan, in the 20th year of Artaxerxes, the king, that wine was before him. And I took up the wine, and I gave it unto the king. Now I had not been before time sad in his presence.
Now read chapter 3, verse 1.
In the book of Nehemiah, chapter 3, verse 1. And then Eliashib, remember that name?
Remember that name? That was the first person we read in chapter 7. When Eliashib, the high priest, was dead, his son Judas succeeded in the high priesthood. So now we're reading the same thing that's going down in the book of Josephus, okay, which is in the book of Nehemiah. Okay? All right? So now, if you want to read, hey, read verse, chapter 2, verse, that brother, this cat going to pop up again. He's going to tell you who this guy is over here. Chapter 2, verse 10, who we just read about by Sanballat. Let's see if he's in here. Read that.
We're in the book of Nehemiah, chapter 2, verse 10. When Sanballat,
the same guy we just read about into Josephus, okay?
the Horonite, and Tobiah, the servant, the Ammonite, heard of it, it grieved them exceedingly that there was come a man to seek the welfare of the children of Israel.
Okay, so now what we got to do is really go into these histories and line up the history in the timeline. And then you can put everything together to see what was going down. Okay, all right. So we gonna stop here. We'll read verse 19. Let me see what that says there. Verse 19.
In the book of Nehemiah, chapter 2, verse 19. But when Sanballat, the Horonite, and Tobiah, the servant, the Ammonite, and Geshem, the Arabian, heard it, they laughed us to scorn.
The Arabian, the Arabs. Okay, to show you that those Persians, the Medes was Arabs. Okay, the Medes was the Arabs. Okay, the Persians are the so-called East Indians. Okay,
heard it and laughed. They laughed us to scorn and despised us, and said, "What is this thing that ye do? Will ye rebel against the king?"
And we're going to read about this history as we continue. Okay,
verse 20. Then I answered them, and I said unto them, the Most High of heaven, He will prosper us. Therefore we, his servants, will arise and build. But ye have no portion, no right, no memorial in Jerusalem.
Right, okay? So jump down to chapter 3, verse 12 right quick. Just give a few themes so we can see as we read in the book of Josephus.
We in the book of Nehemiah chapter 3, verse 12. And next unto him repaired Shalom, the son...
Okay. Oh, that's not what I want. Okay, so let's jump over to chapter 13. Chapter 13. And read verse 23. 13:23.
Okay, we're in the book of Nehemiah chapter 13, verse 23. In those days also saw I Jews that had married wives of Ashdod, Ammon, and of Moab. Verse 24. And their children spake half in the speech of Ashdod, and could not speak in the Jews' language, but according to the language of each people.
Right? They're speaking according to their mother's tongue. Okay? Like my daughter, mother is so-called is Ephraim, Puerto Rican. She speaks fluent Spanish. Okay? Yeah.
Verse 25. And I contended with them, and cursed them, and smote certain of them, and plucked off their hair, and made them swear by the Most High, saying, Ye shall not give your daughters unto their sons, nor take their daughters unto your sons,
Right.
or
Go ahead.
for yourselves.
God. All right? So he's talking about these heathen women. Okay? Go ahead.
Verse 26. Did not Solomon, king of Israel, sin by these things?
Right? So King Solomon sinned because of what? Marrying heathen women. Okay? Not that 700 princesses. Go ahead.
Yet among many nations was there no king like him, who was beloved.
Oh, Solomon was what? Hated for what? Bad wives? He was hated.
No, who was beloved.
Solomon was beloved. Okay? Go ahead.
Yet among many nations was there no king like him, who was beloved of his power, and YAHAWAH made him king over all Israel. Nevertheless,
so even the nations loves King Solomon, because all the nations to come to hear his wisdom, like Queen of Sheba. Okay?
Nevertheless, even him did outlandish women cause to sin.
Outlandish women caused him to sin. These were these heathen women that caused him to sin. Now jump over to hold on, keep on going down. Salah.
Okay. Verse 27. Shall we then hearken unto you to do all this great evil, to transgress against our power in marrying strange wives?
No, marrying Israelites' wives is off.
It's a transgression.
Marrying strange wives is the key. Okay? Read.
Verse 28.
Is what's off. Okay?
And one of the sons of Joiada,
Joiada, with that name, again.
and one of the sons of Joiada, the son of Eliashib, the high priest.
we read about him.
Here he goes again.
Okay?
The high priest was son-in-law to Sanballat.
Sanballat, right? Because he married his daughter. Right here. And so when people want to say that, Joseph is over, well, we're reading the same thing. We're reading the same thing. Okay? Yeah.
Who was son-in-law to Sanballat, the Horonite. Therefore I chase him from me.
Okay, come on, go ahead.
Verse 29. Remember them, O my power, because they have defiled the priesthood.
See, they have defiled the priesthood. You have the priests marrying strange women. Give me Leviticus 21. Okay? This is the beginning of the destruction of the priesthood. Okay? During this time. And these priests is marrying strange women. Okay? Period. Okay? And you also go into Ezra, and it goes into the history about the priests marrying strange wives too. Okay? We're going to go to Ezra 10, and we're going to read verse 10. Okay? You got Leviticus 21:1. Read it, Colin.
The book of Leviticus chapter 21, verse 1. And the Elohim said unto Moses, speak unto the priests, the sons of Aaron.
The sons of who?
Aaron.
The sons of Aaron. Yeah.
And say unto them,
Which Elizabeth in them was the sons of Aaron. Read.
there shall none.
And say unto them. So he's speaking to them, the sons of Aaron. Right? Jump down to verse 7.
Verse 7. They shall not take a wife that is a whore or profane, neither shall they take a woman put away from her husband, for he is holy unto his power.
For he is holy. So these heathen women are who is profane in the eyesight of the Most High. Okay? Especially for the what? The priest. Okay? Yeah.
Verse 8. Thou shalt sanctify him, therefore, for he offereth the bread of thy power. He shall be holy unto thee.
All right, so I just wanted to get that, right? All right, so the priest had commandments to marry. I can't even spell Levite right now, man. Spell it for me. Huh? Yeah, I'm going there wrong. Okay, so we just want to show you that the history that we're reading is in the Bible. Read the Ezra as I told you to get.
Okay, we're in the book of Ezra, chapter 10, verse 10. And Ezra, the priest, stood up and said unto them, Ye have transgressed, and have taken strange wives to increase the trespass of Israel.
Yeah.
Verse 11. Now therefore make confession unto the Most High of your fathers, and do his pleasure, and separate yourselves from the people of the land.
And separate yourself from the people of the land, yeah.
And from the strange wives.
And from the who?
Strange wives.
And from the strange wives, yeah.
Verse 12. Then all the congregation answered and said with a loud voice.
Read verse 18.
Okay, verse 18. And among the sons of the priests there were found that had taken strange wives, namely the sons of Jeshua, the son of Jezodah, and his brethren, what is that? Maaseiah, and Eliezer, and Jerub, and Gedaliah. Okay, verse 19. And they gave their hands that they would put away their wives.
So you had the priest that took these heathen wives. So I'm just showing you the correlation that this was happening during the priesthood, during this time of the Persian Median Empire. It was happening during all these priests that was over the priesthood. Okay? And going into Semilat and after that and all that stuff like that. So now let's go back to the Josephus. Go back to Josephus. And when you read in Ezekiel, it tells you that a Levite cannot marry another woman unless she's a widow of a Levite, of a priest. Okay? So they don't supposed to take no heathen women or no woman outside their tribe. How about that? So go ahead, brother.
Which one, Nehemiah?
No, go back into the Josephus.
Okay. We're in Josephus, chapter 8, verse 1. About this time, it was that Philip, king of Macedon, was treacherously assaulted and slain at Ega by Pausanias, the son of...
I want to read this right quick, okay? Ezekiel 44. Ezekiel 44. This is to kill the whole thing here. Ezekiel 44 and 15. But it said, he said in 14, but I will make them the keepers of the charge of the house for all service thereof, and for all that should be done therein. But the priests, the Levites, the sons of Zadok, that keep the charge of my sanctuary with the children of Israel, went astray from me. They shall come near to me to minister unto me. They shall stand before me to offer unto me the fat and the blood of the Most High. They shall enter into my sanctuary, and they shall come near to my table to minister unto me, and they shall keep my charge. And it shall come to pass that when they enter the gates of the inner court, they shall be clothed with linen garments, with no wool shall come upon them, while they minister in the gates of the inner court and within. They shall have linen bonnets upon their heads, and shall have linen breeches upon their loins, pants, and they shall not gird themselves with anything that causeth sweat. Okay? Right? So it is giving you things that the priest is supposed to do, right? So now when you jump to 22, it says, neither shall they take for their wives a widow, right? We just read in Leviticus 21, nor her that is put away, what we just read in Leviticus, but they should take maidens, virgins of the seed of the house of Israel, seed of the house of Israel, one, or a widow that had a priest before, or a widow that had a priest before. So they had the man in their tribe, one, that's okay, of the seed of the house of Israel, which was a Levite, or it said, or a widow that had a priest before. So if this widow, which was was an Aaronite, a daughter of an Aaronite, she had to be a wife of a dead priest. She had to be a wife of a priest. Okay? All right, period. So that's why when you read about John the Baptist's father, and listen, Zacharias, right? His wife was an Aaronite too. They both was Aaronites. Okay. So I just want to get that out there. Probably went long-winded, but hey, let's get back to what we was reading over there. So to show you that the priesthood was being defiled during this period. Okay?
We're in the book of Josephus, chapter 8, verse 1. About this time it was that Philip, king of Macedon, was treacherously assaulted and slain at Agag by...
So now we in chapter 8, right? Okay, so again, I'm sorry. About this time it was Philip, king of Macedon. Now who is Philip? Okay, yeah, finish reading. He's going to tell you.
Was treacherously assaulted and slain at Agag by Pausanias, the son of Cerates, who was derived from the family of
Oreste.
And his son Alexander.
His son what?
His son Alexander succeeded him in the kingdom.
Now, this is Alexander the Great. Okay, everybody know that Philip, the king of Macedon, is the father of Alexander the Great. Okay, so now when we go to the first Maccabees, the first chapter, right? In the first verse, read chapter 1, verse 1, which is in the original King James 1611 Bible. Maccabees 1 and 1. Read that.
This is the first book of Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 1. And it happened after that Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Chetam, had smitten Darius, king of the Persians, and Medes, that he reigned in his stead. The first
read the first part again. And it happened what?
And it happened after that Alexander, son of Philip.
That's all we needed, brother.
Okay.
Son of Philip, right? Showing that the Bible relates with what? What we're reading in Josephus.
Correct.
Okay? Alright, so go ahead. Alright, so you finish reading over here in the Josephus.
Just join the conference.
We in the book of Josephus.
The book of Josephus.
Sorry.
Antiquities of the Jews, chapter 11, book 11, chapter 8, verse 1.
Read everything again.
We're in the book of Josephus, on the Antiquities of the Jews, book 11, chapter 8, verse 1.
About this time it was Philip, king of Macedon, was treacherously assaulted and slain at Agag by
Pausanias,
the son of Syrtis, who was derived from the family of Orste,
whatever.
and his son Alexander, succeeded him in the kingdom.
And Alexander succeeded him in the kingdom. Okay, so go ahead.
Who passing over the Hellespont,
that's where we go get this Hellenistic period. Okay, Hellespont,
overcame the generals of Darius's army.
What did he do?
Overcame the generals of Darius's army.
And Darius is the what? Which king was he during the Persian Mede Empire?
He was the last king of Persia.
So he's the last king of the Persian and Mede dynasty. Okay? So now here comes Alexander the Great. Okay?
Overcame the generals of Darius's army in a battle fought at Grunsium. So he marched over Lydia and subdued Iona and overran Caria and fell upon the places of Pamphylia as has been related elsewhere.
Yeah.
Verse 2. But the elders of Jerusalem being very uneasy.
So now we're reading about Alexander the Great coming into power. Now read the first book of Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 1 again.
The first book of Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 1. And it happened after that, Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Chetam, had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and Medes, that he reigned in his stead, the first over Greece.
Yeah.
Verse 2. And made many wars.
He made what?
Many wars.
Yeah.
And won many strongholds.
Yeah.
And slew the kings of the earth.
Alright, so he's slewing the kings of the earth. Yeah.
Verse 3. And went through to the ends of the earth and took spoils of many nations, and so much that the earth was quiet.
So they was quiet, shook, stop. Now let's finish reading over here in the book of Josephus.
Okay, but verse 2. But the elders of Jerusalem being very uneasy that the brother of Jaddua, the high priest, though married to a foreigner.
He was what?
Married to a foreigner.
We just read this in the book of Ezra and in the book of Nehemiah. Okay? All this is in the history. Okay? So they jumble up and take out the history to confuse you so you can't align the whole truth and facts that the Greek Empire ruled over Jerusalem, ruled over Israel. Okay? Yeah.
That the brother of Jaddua, the high priest, though married to a foreigner.
Right, and we read that in Nehemiah. Go ahead.
Should be a partner with him in the priesthood, in the high priesthood, quarreled with him, for they esteemed this man's marriage as a step to such as should be desirous of transgressing about the marriage of strange wives.
Okay? Right? Go ahead.
And that this would be the beginning of a mutual society with foreigners.
This will be the beginning of a what?
Mutual society with foreigners.
See that? You start compromising your nation by intermarrying these damn heathens. Becoming a goddamn coon. Okay? You black men out there that's marrying all these damn heathen women. You off as hell. Okay? Vice versa the women. But they doing what you men doing out there. You're the one that's running to the heathen women. Okay? And so they be like, okay, shit, you want to run to the heathen women, I'm going to run to the heathen men. Okay? So this is the beginning of the destruction of the high priesthood. The priesthood. Okay? So there was no priest that was going to be worthy to even be considered the high priest up from this point up to YAHAWASHI. Period. Okay? And up to the YAHAWASHI, you had the Herodian dynasty, which was Edomites. Okay? Controlling the priesthood. Yeah.
But the elders of Jerusalem, being very uneasy that the brother of Jaddua, the high priest, though married to a foreigner, should be a partner with him in the high priesthood, quarreled with him, for they esteemed this man's marriage a step to such as should be desirous of transgressing about the marriage of strange wives, and that this will be the beginning of a mutual society with foreigners.
See that? Intermarriage, right? Interracial marriage. Yeah.
Although the offense of some about marriages and their having married wives that were not of their own country had been in an occasion of their former captivity.
Right. So, their former captivity, you had, this was the former captivity was what? Babylon. Okay, so during the time of Babylon, because this is the southern kingdom that was in captivity under the Persian and Medes. Okay, so they was doing this during the Babylonian captivity. Okay, right. So that's why you can understand Isaiah 11 when it talks about there's a remnant at Persia, Medes, Babylon, the third. Okay, because our people was having children in these lands. Okay? Right? We was in captivity in these lands. And the fulfillment of Isaiah 11 is Acts the 2nd chapter. What about Acts the 2nd chapter? How you skip Acts the 2nd chapter? When it said it was Jews out of every nation under heaven. And it named Persia, Elam. Okay? That they came and heard the word, was able to hear the word. Y'all act like that's just talking about right now in the future with YAHAWASHI. That already got damn happened. First and foremost. Period. So what about Acts the 2nd chapter? With all of Israelites that heard the word in the foreign language and tongue of the country that they was ruling in. That's why you Christians get jacked up. Because you don't know the history concerning Israel being in foreign captivities, okay, and converting to the nationality of the captivity they was in, right? And that Paul and them and Peter was going to Israelites that was calling themselves Greeks, or calling themselves Persians, or calling themselves Arabian, or calling themselves all these different names, because they was in various captivities prior to YAHAWASHI even being on the scene during the Roman Empire, so you get tripped up because you're not dealing with the history. Period. Those was Israelites the Most High was talking to. The disciples was talking to.
That's right.
Okay? Period. Yeah.
And of the miseries they then underwent. So they commanded Manasseh to divorce his wife.
What?
They commanded Manasseh to divorce his wife.
Did we just read that in Nehemiah? They told him to make a covenant to divorce and put away his strange wives. Okay? Yeah.
So they commanded Manasseh to divorce his wife, or not to approach the altar.
Right. So if you ain't going to divorce her, don't come to the altar. Because you off. The Most High said you're supposed to marry the damn strange women as being a high priest, an Aaronite. Yeah?
The high priest himself joining with the people in their indignation against his brother and driving them away from the altar. Whereupon Manasseh came to his father-in-law.
So that he's going to run to his father-in-law, yeah,
who is Sanballat.
Run to his father-in-law, Sanballat, yeah,
and told him that although he loved his daughter Nicaso, yet he not willing to be deprived of his sacerdotal.
Yes, sacerdotal.
Sacerdotal.
I know we pronouncing it wrong. Okay, that's his sacred duty as a priest.
Right.
Okay, sacred duty or sacerdotal duty. Yeah.
To be deprived of his sacerdotal dignity on her account, which was the principal dignity in their nation.
Right, which is the principal dignity of their nation. That's a principle, that's an honor and a duty to be a high priest, to be a son of Aaron. That's a royal line of descendants. Okay? Set apart. Israel was set apart, but Levi was set apart, and then Aaron's children were set apart from Levi. Okay? Because Aaron and Moses was brothers, they both was Levites. But the Most High said, I'm going to separate the sons of Aaron and make the sons of Aaron the high priest. Okay? First of all, how about that? Most High is a separatist on everything. Yeah.
And always continued in the same family.
And always what?
Continued in the same family.
Read it again.
And always continued in the same family.
Look, I'm a Judite that want to be a Levite today.
And always continued in the same family.
Look, I'm a Judite that want to be the Aaronite. I'm an Aaronite, so I'm a high priest.
Always continue in the same family.
So now, here we go. There's no high priest, okay, but a son of Aaron. Okay? And MASHAYACH YAHAWASHI took the high priesthood. Okay? So, there's no high priest. Unless you're Aaronite. Okay? How about that? Okay? Right. Go.
And then Sanballat promised him not only to preserve him in the honor of his priesthood, but to procure for him the power and dignity of a high priest.
All this is politics, man. All this is politics, man. Promises. Okay? A heathen telling a brother to be a coon out, gave him a wife, right? And have him eat out his own hand to do his will. So he's basically a puppet. This guy right here is a coon. Okay? This brother, what's his name? Nikaso, whatever his damn name is. He's a damn coon. Or Manasseh, that's his name?
Manasseh.
Manasseh is a damn coon. Okay, go ahead.
And will make him governor.
Make him what?
Governor.
Gonna make him a governor. Go ahead.
Of all the places he
was not Herod a governor? Go ahead.
And will make him a governor of all the places he himself now ruled, if he would keep his daughter for his wife.
So wherever Sanballat is ruling, right, Manasseh was going to be the governor up under him. Okay? So Sanballat is a king, right, ruling, or president, right, because the governor is not over the president.
Yeah.
Okay? Go ahead.
He also told him further,
with all these promises, okay,
that he would build him a temple.
They gonna build the man a temple. Okay, you know that Negro want that. Yeah.
He will build him a temple like that at Jerusalem upon Mount Gerizim. Right?
Gerizim, where you at, brother? I'll find.
He also told him further he will build him a temple like that at
Mount Gerizim.
Upon Mount Gerizim.
Gerizim, whatever. Okay, Gerizim. Mount Gerizim. Yeah.
Which is the highest of all mountains that are in Samaria.
So this is the highest mountain. You're going to build him a temple on the highest mountain. Okay? I'm going to hook you up, son-in-law. All right? Go ahead.
And he promised.
Promises. Gifts destroy the heart. Okay?
And he promised him that he would do this with the approbation of Darius the king.
Get that Ecclesiastes 7:7 in the Bible. Ecclesiastes 7:7 in the Bible. To show you how this is the Uncle Tom scripture. Okay? Uncle Tom sell out scripture. Okay? Okay, all praise and glory to now YAHAWASHI MASHAYACH YAHAWASHI on this Hanukkah feast week. Okay? All praise. Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 7.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 7. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad.
So obviously Manasseh don't think they're being oppressed. Okay? Because he's not being wise. Okay? So if you're wise or seeking wisdom, you understand that we as a people are being oppressed. Read.
And a gift destroyeth the heart.
And a what?
A gift destroyeth the heart.
And a gift, promises, destroyeth the heart. Read. Now back over there in Josephus.
Manasseh was elevated with these promises.
Manasseh was what?
Elevated with these promises.
So Manasseh was elevated with these promises, these gifts to be. Okay? Alright? See, we're not going to sell out for the promises and the gifts. We're going to strive and fight for YAHAWASHI, MASHAYACH. No 501(c)(3) in the army of Israel.
That's right.
We don't need no gifts or promises. Okay? We're thin on our own. We'll be up in this room, okay, forever. Okay? Instead of taking gifts and promises. Okay? All praise and glory to the Most High, MASHAYACH. Read.
Manasseh was elevated with these promises.
He was elevated by these promises.
And stayed with Sanballat upon a supposal that he should gain a high priesthood as bestowed on him by Darius.
Right?
For it happened that Sanballat was then in years.
So Sanballat, upon a supposal that he should gain a high priesthood as bestowed on him by Darius. So Sanballat was during the time who? Darius. Okay? Yeah.
But there was now a great...
Sanballat was old in years. Yeah.
But there was now a great disturbance among the people of Jerusalem.
So let's check out this disturbance. What's going on during this disturbance? Yeah.
Because many of those priests and Levites were entangled in such matches.
So they was entangled in all this politics, all this coonery, selling out, heating wives. He just read it in Nehemiah and Ezra. They was all caught up in this. Read.
For they all revolted to Manasseh, and Sanballat afforded them money.
See that? They a bunch of damn coons, bunch of sellouts, all revolted against the Most High, and became a damn coon and sellout. We just read it. Damn, bro.
And Sanballat offered them money.
Offered them what?
Money.
Money.
For the love of money.
Okay? Right. They were what? Kill their own brother for the love of money.
You will rob your own mother.
For the love of money. Bring it on, baby. You sounded good, huh?
That's right.
Okay? That's Micah 3:11. The heads thereof judge for reward, and the priests thereof teach for hire. And the prophets, right? And the prophets divine for money. Okay, the heads, who's the heads? The Aaronites, the Levites, right? They judge for reward, and the priests thereof teach for hire, and the prophets thereof divine for money. For the love of what?
Money.
They're what? Kill their own brother. For the love of money,
They will rob their own mother.
you know you wicked as hell. Yeah. Bring it back to the Josephus.
Some people gotta have it. But there was now a great disturbance among the people of Jerusalem, because many of these priests, those priests and Levites, were entangled in such matches, for they all revolted to Manasseh, and Sanballat offered.
They all revolted.
They all revolted.
All the priests. Okay? So how the hell are we going to have a priest from this point on, okay, that was worthy to be in the priesthood? That's why MASHAYACH had to come. There was no worthy Aaronite, no worthy priest that would give sacrifice for the people, for the remission of sins. Okay? They defiled the priesthood. They defiled the sanctuary. They made him murdered someone, an Aaronite, in the temple. Ultimate, right, destruction or desolation. I mean not desolation, but disrespect to YAHAWASHI, MASHAYACH. Read.
For they all revolted to Manasseh, and Sanballat offered them money and divided among them land
yeah,
for tillage
yeah.
and habitations also.
They got paid. They got set up. They up in the burbs again, once again. Yeah.
And all this in order every way to gratify his son-in-law.
And all this in order every way to gratify his son-in-law. So he had all these priests come, you know what I'm saying, sold them out so they can back this man. Okay? The back Manasseh. Okay, go ahead.
Verse 3. About this time it was that Darius heard how Alexander had passed.
So Darius was still relevant, right? During the time of what? Alexander. Okay? Alright? Let's just understand these things. Yeah.
About this time it was that Darius heard how Alexander had passed over the Hellespont and had beaten his lieutenants in a battle at Gratium, and was proceeding further, whereupon he gathered together an army of horse and foot, and determined that he would meet the Macedonians before they should assault and conquer.
Oh, wait a minute. Yeah. So Darius about to get it popping. Darius trying to get big. Huh? Darius trying to set it off, huh?
That's right.
Yeah.
And he gathered together an army of horse and foot, and determined that he would meet the Macedonians.
I'm gonna try to put it up so you can see what we're reading in the Josephus. Okay. So let me get that for you. All right. So again, brother, read it again. Edify while you're doing that or whatever going on right now. Again.
And he gathered together an army of horse and foot, and determined that he would meet the Macedonians before they should assault and conquer all Asia.
So Darius was going to intervene, right? Mm-hmm. Alexander coming to take over his empire, because Darius is the one that's ruling now. Okay? So this King Darius, he ready to set it off too. Now he's like, hold on now. Y'all trying to just, take over my kingdom. I can't have this. All right? So we're in part 3, okay? So about this time, Miss Darius, I heard how Alexander had passed over the Hellespont and had beaten his lieutenants.
Seest thou?
In the battle of Granicum, it was proceeding further, whereupon he gathered together an army of horse and foot, and determined that he would meet the Macedonian before they should assault and conquer all Asia. Yeah, bro.
So he passed over the river Euphrates and came over Taurus, Sicilian mountain.
There you go, so that's what it's Sicilian. Hey, over there.
Hey, what you doing over there?
What you doing over here? Yeah.
The Sicilian mountain, and at Ussus of Sicilia, he waited for the army as ready there to give him battle. Mm-hmm. Upon which Sanballat was glad that Darius was come down, and told Manasseh that he would suddenly perform his promises to him. And this as soon as ever Darius should come back, after he had beaten his enemies, for not he only, but all those that were in Asia also were persuaded that the Macedonians would not so much as come to a battle with the Persians on account of their multitude.
All right, so I gotta find where you at, because but all those that was able to persuade that the Macedonians would not so much as come to the battle. They felt like the Macedonians wasn't going to come because Darius was the man with the Persian in account of their multitude. Because just like when you saw the movie 300, you saw Xerxes, you saw those was going all into the history during the Persian cats. That was the Persians and the Medes. Okay, going into the Greek Empire. So when they do that movie 300 is all talking about the history from the Persian Medes going up into the Greek Empire with the Maccabees and all that. But what was his name? The nigga that led the 300? That would be what you call Judas Maccabees, man.
Right, okay.
Okay, what was his Matthias, right? What's his name? What was his name in 300? Come on, who knows, man? You brothers online. 300 characters. 300 characters.
Yes.
300 movie cast. Okay? What's this dude's name, man? Okay. Leonidas. Right?
Leonidas, yeah.
Leonidas. But who was Leonidas' father? Okay, who was Leonidas' father? Let me see. Leonidas. Right? Father. Okay, so all this is really going into Anzandra. Okay. Alright. So let's so forget about that. Also, when you go into the history of the Spartans and all that, there was really, obviously, are we saying that, the Spartans was Israelites. Mm-hmm. Okay? The Spartans was Israelites. And his history, elder brother by the name of Karaj goes into the history of the Spartans and all that. Those was Israelites. Okay? Alright? So go ahead. So we're reading the history of the Maccabees. We're going to be reading the history of the Maccabee Empire, man. The Maccabees revolt. Alright? So go ahead.
But the event proved otherwise than they expected.
Right. Right. But the event proved otherwise. Go ahead.
For the king joined the battle with the Macedonians.
So Darius went to battle with the Macedonian, and what happened?
And he was beaten.
He was what?
He was beaten.
He was beaten.
He was finished.
Finished. Go ahead.
And lost a great part of his army. His mother also.
He was so proud he brought his mother to the battle. Go ahead.
His mother also and his wife and children were taken captives, and he fled into Persia.
He just left his mom's, wives, children, and he fled into Persia. The man was so proud and cocky, he brought his family to the war. Okay? They got finished. Okay? So you already know what happened to the words. Yeah. Yeah.
So Alexander came into Syria and took Damascus. And when
on the road to Damascus.
And when he had obtained Sidon, he besieged Tyre and Sidon.
Yeah.
When he sent all epistle to the Jewish high priest to send him some auxiliaries and to supply his army with provisions, and that what presents he formerly sent to Darius, he would now send to him.
So now he reached out to Israel. He reached out to the Jews. Okay? Why did in the history books you're not talking about how Alexander the Great had political, okay, what do you call it? Discussions, right, with Israel? Why is there no history about Alexander the Great having any political alliance or communication with the children of Israel? Where's that history at, my man? Where's the history at, Esau, right, man? Your colleges and institutions and universities and schools? Where's the history? Huh? Read.
And chose the friendship.
So this made this history up. Threw Alexander in the air and made all this stuff up, huh? Yeah.
And chose the friendship of the Macedonians, in that he should never repent of so doing.
So he said, and he would send, and he said to send auxiliaries and supply his army with provisions, and that with presents he formerly sent to Darius, send to him now, he would now send to him, and choose the friendship of the Macedonians, and that he should never repent of so doing. So he said, listen, whatever you did for Darius, you're going to now do to me. Okay? And never repent of doing it. So don't buck up. Okay? I done conquered this dude. We're reading, go back to Daniel, the 8th chapter now. Daniel, the 8th chapter. Daniel, the 8th chapter. We're reading about the fall of the Persian and Mede Empire by the hands of Alexander the Great. In the Bible now. Let's get it, baby. Daniel 8. Daniel, the 8th chapter.
We're in the book of Daniel, the 8th chapter.
And read verse 20.
We're in the book of Daniel, chapter 8, verse 20. The ram which thou sawest, having 2 horns, are the kings of Media and Persia. Verse 21. And the rough goat is the king of Grecia.
Grecia, which is the Greeks, okay?
And the great horn that is between his eyes is the first king.
So what happened here? Jump back over to verse 8.
Okay,
start with verse 7. Verse 7.
Okay, we're in the book of Daniel, chapter 8, verse 7. And
No, start with 5. Select 5.
Okay. Verse 5. And as I was considering, behold, an he-goat came from the west on the face of the whole earth, and touched not the ground. And the goat had a notable horn between his eyes.
Right, this goat, that notable horn is Alexander the Great. So this goat is talking about the so-called Europeans, so-called white man, Esau. Okay?
Verse 6. And he came to the ram that had 2 horns.
And he, Alexander the Great, okay,
came to the ram that had 2 horns, which I had seen there, seen standing before the river.
Which I had seen
standing before the river, and ran unto him in the fury of his power.
Yeah.
Verse 7. And I saw him come close unto the ram, and he was moved with shoulder against him, and smote the ram, and brake his 2 horns. And there was no power in the ram to stand before him.
Because he fled back into Persia and took his family. Read.
But he cast him down to the ground, and stamped on him, and there was none that could deliver the ram out of his hand.
See that? And there was none to deliver the ram out of his hand. Stop. So let's go back to the Josephus. Okay? Go back to the Josephus, and we're reading, but the high priest.
But the high priest answered the messengers that he had given his oath to Darius not to bear arms against him.
Oh boy. He paying oath. I made an oath with Darius. Yeah.
And he said that he would not transgress this while Darius was in the land of the living.
So Darius was still alive. So he said, we're going to keep our oath because he's still alive. Yeah.
Upon hearing this answer, Alexander was very angry.
Very what?
Angry.
Yeah.
And though he determined not to leave Tyre, which was just ready to be taken, yet as soon as he had taken it, he threatened that he would make an expedition against the Jewish high priest.
He said before, so Alexander was very angry, determined not to leave Tyre, which was ready to be taken, right? Because he was over there. Yet as soon as he had taken it, he threatened that he would make an expedition against the Jewish high priest. He said, all right, you will go like that. After I take this damn city, this land here, I'm coming to what?
Thou.
Seest thou? Yeah.
And through him teach all men to whom they must keep their oaths.
So he gonna use them as an example. How you gonna keep the oath that I say? I'm gonna show you who you gonna listen to, my man. Okay, go ahead. And you know Esau, you don't forget Esau coming to get down. Okay.
So when he had, with a good deal of pains during the siege, taken Tyre.
So it wasn't easy, so he battled, right, with a deal of pains, but he finally took over Tyre. Yeah.
And had settled its affairs, he came to the city of Gaza.
All these is cities, Tyre, Sidon, Gaza, all mentioned in the New Testament. Yeah.
and besieged both the city and him that was governor of the garrison, whose name was
Misses. Bay Misses. or Bay Misses. Off. Yeah.
Verse 4. But Sanballat,
The old famous Sanballat that we read in the book of Nehemiah, right? He's in Ezra to read.
But Sanballat thought he had now gotten a proper opportunity to make his intent.
So now, see how this nigga switch sides? This is politics. So he about to switch sides. Read.
So he renounced Darius.
I ain't rolling with Darius no more. Alexander took him down. I'm switching sides now. Okay?
And taking with him 7,000 of his own subjects.
7,000 of his own subjects. 7,000 men, again.
He came to Alexander.
So check out this goddamn man. Alright? He seen what's going down. He said, oh shit. Alexander took Darius down, so now I got no power now with this dude. Okay, so now I got to make my next best move. Okay, let me get 7,000 men and go to Alexander the Great and pledge my allegiance. Okay?
And finding him beginning the siege of Tyre, he said to him that he delivered up to him these men who came out of the places under his dominion.
Here's my men. 7,000 subjects, 7,000 men for your army, Mr. Alexander the Great. Okay?
And did gladly accept of him for his lord instead of Darius.
Right. Gladly accept Alexander the Great of being his lord opposite of Darius. They said, the hell with Darius.
You finished.
Darius is finished. I gotta go to the next big thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? That man fled into Persia, took his wives, children, mother, every damn thing. I'm out of here. Okay, let me go to Alexander and pledge allegiance to him. Yeah.
So when Alexander had received him kindly, Sanballat therein took courage and spoke to him about his present affair.
Okay, so now he want to put, he want to present his, his policy or his offerings or tribute or whatever. Okay, go ahead.
And he told him that he had a son-in-law, Manasseh.
There go Israel. There go the Aaronite. Okay, he still got to keep that plan to go because he's still trying to stay in power himself, and he's still trying to destroy the priesthood. Okay, that.
Who was brother to the high priest, Jaddua.
So they want to remove Jaddua out of the high priest and put Manasseh there. See, this is what they want to do. Yeah.
And that there were many others of his own nation now with him.
Sellouts, coons. Yeah.
That there were desirous, yeah.
That were desirous
to have a temple in the places subject to him.
Right, so they wanted to get their own palaces and schools. And temples, sellout dudes. Read.
That it would be for the king's advantage to have the strength of the Jews divided into two parts.
So for the king's advantage to have the strength of the Jews divided into two parts. Those that was going to follow the laws and those that wasn't going to follow the law. Let's see what it says here.
Lest when the nation is of one mind.
Read it again.
Lest when the nation is of one mind.
Division.
Lest when the nation is of one mind.
So we're supposed to be of one mind. Okay? All this division in the nation of Israel, it all continues to keep us in subduction or being subdued to our nation, to our enemies. Okay? Period. You want to be anti-Campbellites, right? Or camps against the anti-Campbellites. I mean, y'all the ones that's against camps. Okay? This school gets that school. That brother gets that brother. No division, you're all divided because there's supposed to be one nation. One love, one nation, one king. That's why YAHAWASHI is trying to gather all brothers and sisters that are Hebrew Israelites, believing Israelites, to gather themselves to the 8th Hebrew Israelite Summit. Okay? For us to be one nation. Okay? Alright? Period. We're one nation.
That's right.
And we should not be hating each other. We shouldn't be damn condemning each other. We're supposed to be fighting and standing up against our enemies. Period. All this division has been happening. It's nothing new. Read that part again, brother.
Lest when the nation is of one mind.
Of one what?
Of one mind.
One mind. And we're supposed to have the mind of a MASHAYACH, read.
Lest when the nation is of one mind and united.
No, divided.
United.
I'm not with this camp or school.
United.
If you're not up in this school, you're not in the truth.
One mind, united.
Go ahead.
Upon any attempts for innovation.
Right, because if we're innovation, we're coming up with ideas to subdue our enemies. We're coming up with ideas to sustain ourselves as a nation. But we can't do that if we're divided. Read.
It proved troublesome to kings.
See, if we're not divided, then we're going to prove what?
Troublesome to kings.
Divided, we're not showing no what? Troubles
to the
kings. But united, we show what? Troubles to kings. Okay? One love, one nation, one king. That's it. Read. Army of Israel. The Most High is creating a great and exceeding army. Read.
As it had formerly proved to the kings of Assyria.
And the Assyrians did this tactic. Go ahead.
Whereupon Alexander gave Sanballat leave so to do, who used the utmost diligence and built the temple and made Manasseh the priest and deemed it a great reward that his daughter's children should have that dignity.
See that? So he got what he wanted. Alexander granted him his wishes to make Manasseh the high priest. Okay? Right? So now Manasseh is sitting in the high priest because this guy Sanballat done switch sides because obviously Darius is finished, so he had to do what he had to do. Now Alexander gave him reign to go and bring forth all these ideas that he had promised to Manasseh. Okay? Yeah.
But when the 7 months of the siege of Tyre were over,
however,
and the 2 months of the siege of Gaza, Sanballat died.
Right. Moses took his ass out. Sanballat is what?
Finished.
Finished. Okay? Finished. So his damn little idea was what? Finished. Yeah? Sanballat dead a lot. Yeah.
Now Alexander, when he had taken Gaza, made haste to go up to Jerusalem.
Go where?
To Jerusalem.
Yeah.
And Jaddua, the high priest, when he heard that, was in agony.
What? Jediah was what?
In agony.
That man was shook once. Yeah.
And under terror.
That man was shook once. That man was doing all finished. Yeah.
As not knowing how he should meet the Macedonians, since the king was displeased at his foregoing disobedience.
Now Darius finished, Sanballat finished, Darius finished, Alexander finished taking Tyre. Now Alexander coming to what? Siege style. And that man is shook. Yeah.
He therefore ordained that the people should make...
Hold up, read that in the Apocrypha again. Read it again. Read right there. Right? Yeah, read one on that. Read it again.
The first book of Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 1. And it happened after that Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Chittim, has smitten Darius, king of the Persians.
Darius was smitten, right? The damn mama took it, wife took it, children took it. Yeah. Going off. Yeah.
Worlds.
King of the Persians and Medes, that he reigned in his stead, the first over Greece.
First over Greece. The first over Greece. Can you get that back in Daniel's 8? In Daniel's 8 and verse 21.
Read the book of Daniel, chapter 8, verse 21. And the rough goat is the king of...
Matter of fact, start with 20.
Okay, verse 20. The ram which thou sawest,
Thou, yeah.
having 2 horns, are the kings of Media and Persia.
Right.
Verse 21. And the rough goat is the king of Gracia.
Who is Alexander, again.
And the great horn that is between his eyes is the first king.
First king, read that part again in the Apocrypha. The last verse. You read?
Okay, chapter 1, verse 1.
And he reigned in his steed.
That he reigned in his steed, the first over Greece.
Read that again. 21.
And the rough goat is the king of Gracia.
Greece. Yeah.
And the great horn that is between his eyes is the first king.
Is the first king. Read that again. And that he reigned. Yeah.
That he reigned.
In fact, read it again. Read it again, verse the whole one. Read it again.
And it happened after that Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Chittim, had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and Medes.
Stop. Read James 8:20.
Verse 20. The ram which thou sawest, having 2 horns, are the kings of Media and Persia.
Which is Darius. Now you read.
That he reigned in his stead.
Okay.
The first over Greece.
The first over what?
Greece.
Read over here. Finish reading.
Verse 21. And the rough goat is the king of Gracia, Greece, and the great horn that is between his eyes is the first king.
Boom. So you want to know why they took out the Maccabees? Because Alexander the Great has been prophesied in the book of Daniels. They didn't get that one out. They didn't think that the Most High was going to give the Holy Spirit to those elders from Wood West, okay, to bring out this information. Okay? Period. Alright? So the Bible is true and the Bible is real. You people out there is not real about YAHAWASHI, MASHAYACH. Let's finish reading over here in Josephus.
Huh?
Okay? So the Judea was shook ones. Okay? So go back. You forgot where you at?
No, I got it right.
Alright, bring it up.
And therefore he ordained that the people should make supplications and should join with him in offering sacrifice to the Most High, whom he besought to protect that nation and to deliver them from the perils that were coming upon them. Whereupon the Most High warned him in a dream.
What happened?
They warned him in a dream.
So the Most High warned them in a dream. I'm trying to find where I'm at over here. Alright, right. Therefore he ordained that people should preach. Alright, where you at? Back in terror, not knowing how he should meet the Macedonians, the king was displeased with the foregoing disobedience. He therefore ordained that the people should make supplications and should join with him. That's where you at?
Yep.
And join with him in offering sacrifice to God, whom he besought to protect that nation, whom he besought to protect that nation. Wow! Whom he besought to protect that nation and to deliver them from the perils that were coming upon them. That's like the same thing in St. John 11:48. Let's get that. St. John 11:48. Because the high priest that was sitting on the throne knew that MASHAYACH YAHAWASHI was the Savior. Read St. John 8 and St. John 11:47. Remember the word that nation.
We're in the book of John, St. John, chapter 11, verse 47. Then gathered the chief priests and the Pharisees a council and said, what do we?
Let's start with 45.
Verse 45. Then many of the Jews which came to Mary and have seen the things which YAHAWASHI did, believed on him. Verse 46. But some of them went their ways to the Pharisees and told them what things YAHAWASHI had done. Verse 47. Then gathered the chief priest and the Pharisees at council and said, what do we? For this man doeth many miracles. Verse 48. If we let him thus alone,
sellouts,
all men will believe on him.
Yeah.
And the Romans shall come and take away both.
5013C. I'm sorry.
And the Romans shall come and take away both our place and nation.
I'm sorry. I had to say it. I had to say it. I didn't know what came over me. Read it again.
If we let him thus alone, all men will believe on him, and the Romans shall come and take away our 501c3.
That's hard.
Read, brother. To take away both our place and nation. Read.
Verse 49. And one of them, named Caiaphas, being the high priest.
So this brother was the high priest. So he knew he was the son of Aaron, Gad, or supposedly Gad. Read.
Being the high priest that same year, said unto them, ye know nothing at all.
Right, checking them. Gad.
Verse 50. Nor consider that it is expedient for us that one man should die for the people.
One man should die for the people. Okay?
And that the whole nation perish not.
And the whole nation perish not. The whole nation perished not. That was there at that time. Read.
Verse 51. And this
was, who was during the time of the Roman? Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. Those were the three tribes that was during the Roman Empire, during the Greek Empire, all the way after the split of the kingdom of Israel under the time of Solomon. Okay? Yeah.
Verse 51. And this spake he not of himself.
This he spoke not of himself. Read.
But being high priest that year.
Being high priest that year.
He prophesied that YAHAWASHI should die for that nation.
For what?
For Israel.
For that nation. As they was praying for what? That nation. Okay? That was there during the time of Alexander the Great, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. Right? And now you're going to come back and say what in St. John 11? Okay?
Verse 52. And not for that nation only.
Not only for the nation that was there in Jerusalem or in that area during that time was Judah, Benjamin, Levi. Okay? But who else?
But that also he should gather together in one the children of YAHAWAH that were scattered abroad.
The children of Israel that was scattered abroad. Abroad. What is abroad means? They wasn't during that time. They wasn't there. During Acts the 2nd chapter.
Four corners of the earth.
Okay? They was already over here on the western hemisphere. Period. James 1:1. Get that. Okay? The hell are you talking about? Caiaphas the high priest. Who we going to believe? The high priest or thou? Okay? So it separated the two right there. It said, oh, not only from that nation only, right? But that also he should gather together in one the children of the Most High that was scattered abroad. What does the word abroad means? Abroad. Since y'all want to say like the northern kingdom was still there. What are you talking about, Negroes? It said abroad in or to a foreign country or countries. Period. Okay? That's what it means. So it wasn't in Israel. They wasn't around what you call Palestine. Okay? In that area. Canaan. They ain't not even mentioned during the time after Judith, the book of Judith and Tobit. That's why they put Judith and Tobit in the Apocrypha. Because that goes in the history of the northern kingdom. Esdras. Why are they going to put second Ezra in the Apocrypha? Because it's talking about the northern kingdom, the 10 tribes coming to America. That's why they put it there. That's why Tobit and Judith goes into the northern kingdom as well. Okay? What the hell are you talking about? Huh? It also gives you the understanding about Nineveh or Jonah. On all that was northern kingdom. Huh? Let me relax. Relax. James, what am I bringing up?
The book of James, chapter 1, verse 1. James, a servant of YAHAWAH and of the Elohim, HaMASHAYACH YAHAWASHI, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad. Greeting. Verse 2. My brethren, count it all joy when ye fall into diverse temptations.
Okay, so James 1:1 to the 12 tribes which are what? Scattered abroad.
Greeting.
That's the precept of St. John 11. Okay? So they was in a foreign land or foreign country. That's what abroad means. Doesn't mean they was right around Israel or none of that, simple ones. It says out of thy own country in a foreign country or countries. So how is Israel still around the Middle East and they're not foreign countries or countries? We know all the countries and the surrounding people that was there. Because we was in captivity under them, under the Moabites, under them and all these different countries. So how is that going to be a foreign land? Dummy? Or talking about going to Africa. We was south of Egypt and Africa. Right. We went down there, we dwelt there. Abraham stayed going to Egypt in that area. Okay? We fled into the interiors of Africa. Stop your damn lies, you people out there that's trying to say that the northern kingdom, so-called Spanish native, are not Israelites. And you want to base it off the complexion when the Bible says Ephraim is a mixed cake. Okay? And they have mixed themselves with the people. All right? Esau went and heavily penetrated the northern kingdom. Period. Okay? Right. All the history records, we got the lost tribes of promised lands here. Okay? Get a book. The American Indians, the history of the American Indians, right? By James Adair. All right? I was in the Bowman, this damn book was published. When was this book published? The history of the American Indians first published when?
1930.
When?
1930.
You niggas just came on a planet Earth yesterday. Shut up. By the National what?
By the National Society of Colonial Names of America in Tennessee.
And we could go on in this book and show you that they have records that the Native American Indians and Hispanics are Israelites. Period. Not in goddamn Africa. The hell out of here. You niggas stay trying to go to Africa.
So, Israelites, not an Israelite.
Right. 12 tribes of promised lands. We got the books. Okay? So you people running your damn mouth. Okay? First people. Right? Right in this book, they got the what you call that symbol right there. Right? Right? The shield of David. In this book, they got the Native American Indian with the shield of David on the damn, what do you call the little boat they used to ride in? The canoe, right? The canoe. Okay? And then they go into the crown. All that is scripture. Okay? But I didn't want to go into the Native American history, but I could. But we ain't gonna go into that right now. I was gonna try to find the damn shield of David for you, but I can't find it right now because I gotta damn highlight the page. Gonna be looking forever. Okay.
What did you say though? We're gonna do a class about it.
Right. We're going to do a class on it, man. Okay, we're going to do a class concerning the northern kingdom being Israelites. Okay, read. Finish reading where we was at, though. I'm fine.
Josephus.
And you can look at the video that Zabak and myself did concerning the things stealing. Okay, and we went into the history of the Native American people. Okay,
We did one too, right?
yeah, we did a little one too as well. Here, go right here. What you see right here, brother, on the teepee?
SHAM, MASHAYACH.
Huh? What you see right here?
There you go. Same.
On the boat, right there.
Indeed.
What else you see here, brother? Going off.
The shield of David.
That's an idiot. Man, going off, man. The shield of David, okay? And if you can see, right? I know you can't see. I ain't got nobody manning the camera, but it's right here, right there. Okay? So I guess they was worshiping Molech going off too. Okay? And why would they worship Molech? How did they know about Molech? Who was Molech attached to? But Israel. Huh? We read about Molech, we talk about Israel, right? So why did Native Americans got Molech then?
Are they Israelites?
Are they Israelites?
Oh, the Israelites.
Okay. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Boom. Read.
To Josephus.
Yeah, Josephus.
All right, we're going to go back again. Chapter 8, verse 4. And therefore he ordained that the people should make supplications and should join with him in offering sacrifice to the Most High, whom he besought to protect that nation.
Right. Yeah.
And to deliver them from the perils that were coming upon them. Whereupon YAHAWAH warned him in a dream which came upon him after he had offered sacrifice, that he should take courage,
gird up thy loins, okay,
and adorn the city and open the gates, that the rest should appear in white garments.
So they're supposed to be in white garments, read.
But that he and the priest should meet the king in the habits proper to their order.
Right, because the high priest was given a direct commandment of what garments to wear. They had the priestly garments with the pomegranate on it, which is the shape of the shield of David.
Thank you.
Huh? Read.
Which, without the dread of any ill consequences, which the providence of YAHAWAH would prevent.
So don't worry about it. I got you. Read.
Upon which, when he rose from his sleep, he greatly rejoiced, and declared to all the warning he had received from YAHAWAH. According to which dream he acted entirely, and so waited for the coming of the king.
And mind you, this brother did not sell out the priesthood. He didn't marry a damn heathen. It was his brother Manasseh. Okay? So go ahead.
Verse 5.
And he was honorable still because he did honor what? The oath that he made and the agreement he made with Darius. And see how the Most High still protected Israel. Okay?
Right.
Yeah.
And when he understood that he was not far from the city, he went out in procession with the priests and the multitude of the citizens. The procession was vulnerable, and the manner of it different from that of other nations.
Yeah.
It reached to a place called Sappha, which name translated into Greek signifies a prospect, for you have thence a prospect both of Jerusalem and of the temple. And when the Phoenicians and
the Chaldeans,
right?
Go ahead.
When the Chaldeans,
the Africans, heathens,
right?
Go ahead.
That followed him thought they should have liberty to plunder the city.
So now they because we left the city, now the heathens want to plunder the city.
They want to go.
Right? So now they say, oh, they leave the city, so we gonna take everything. Right? You see how these heathens always waiting to destroy? Yeah.
And torment the high priest to death.
Right, and torment the high priest. Man, these people are something else. Yeah.
Which the king's displeasure verily promised them.
Right. So they were supposed to touch the king. I mean, touch the priest, because Alexander was in communication with him. Read.
The very reverse of it happened.
The very what?
Reverse of it happened.
You wanted them, what? Torment the high priest and plunder the city. The very reverse is going to happen to thou.
Yes, boy.
Bring it out. Yeah.
For Alexander, when he saw the multitude at a distance in white garments,
yeah.
while the priest stood clothed with fine linen,
The priest had their fine linen on, yeah.
and the high priest in purple.
And the high priest was wearing what?
Purple and
The high
scarlet.
priest was wearing purple. So everybody was not wearing this purple and scarlet. Only the high priest was wearing purple and scarlet. Okay? You had other people that was wearing what? You had the multitude, which is Israel, wearing what?
White garments.
White garments, right?
Okay.
GOCC. Just to give you a picture, right? Right? Then you had, what is that? Who else? White garments, and then the Levites wore what?
Fine linen.
Fine linen, right? Like we wear linen garments, like when we wear the Power Ranger suits. Usually it's out of some linen or cloth or whatever, right? We wear the linen, right? I'm just saying, I'm just making jokes here now, but relate to it. Amen.
With his mitre on his head.
Hold on, we had what?
Mitres.
Oh, so we be looking like Arabians and off mitres,
Oh, yeah,
right? These is the diadem, but we have the mitres, okay?
Having the golden plate whereon the name of Yahawah was engraved.
Okay, so and as we saw the multitude at a distance in white garments, while the priest stood clothed with fine linen, and the high priest in purple and scarlet clothing. Okay, which would be who we see out there. Let's give you a picture. IUIC.
Purple rain.
Okay. IUIC wearing the purple and scarlet, okay? Clothing with his mitre on his head. Hold up. The high priest was wearing mitre. You got people saying you shouldn't wear nothing on your head. You got camps out there, schools or leaders saying thou cannot wear nothing on thy head. But these priests had purple and scarlet on, right? Purple and scarlet clothing with a mitre on his head. So not only did they have the purple and scarlet, they had a mitre on. Right. Go ahead.
Having the golden plate whereon the name of Yahawah was engraved.
They had a golden plate wherein the name of the Most High was engraved. I wonder if it was Jehovah. Right? I wonder if the name there was Jesus. Okay? So they always say the name is not important. Well, there's only one name that's going to be on that damn plate.
And it's important.
Right. There's a multitude of names on there. The Native Americans was saying Yahweh. Yahawah. But you're going to say they're not Israelites. That's documented in what the Lord's tribes and promised at the end of the book of James and Deer. Okay? We're going to go into that, man. But the damn Africans, where's the history of these damn Hamites saying anything like Yahweh? Okay? That ain't the history buff. But hey, bring it. Bring forth thy reasons. Read.
He approached by himself and adored that name, and first saluted the high priest.
So this is Alexander the Great coming before the high priest, coming before all Israel at the time, Israel, the Levites, and the high priest. And this is King Alexander, right? The son of Philip the Macedonian, the first over Greece, which is prophesied in the Bible, coming before and seeing the golden plate where the name of the Most High was engraved. He, Alexander himself, approached by himself without his security, anything. You know, this dude was gangster with it. Yeah.
And adored.
And compassed him about, well, I'm sorry. And adored, and he what?
Adored that name, YAHAWAH.
Adored that name?
Adored that name.
YAHAWAH, not YAHAWAH. There's no YAHAWAH on that golden plate. There is no Jehovah. There is no God. There is no Jesus. YAHAWAH. Read.
And first saluted the high priest.
And first saluted the high priest. Boom. So respected the high priest. God, and he's the king. He just came and took everybody down. The world had the world quiet. That's what I want you to get. When Darius, you know, damn, I lost that point. We had the world shook. Okay? Okay?
The Jews also did all together with one voice.
With what?
One voice.
Two voices.
One voice.
Three voices.
One voice.
One voice. Go ahead.
Salute Alexander.
Go ahead.
And
so Israelites saluted, Edomite Israelites saluted a Greek, a Macedonian. Go ahead.
And encompassed him about.
Go ahead. And they surrounded him. Go ahead.
Whereupon the kings of Syria and the rest were surprised at what Alexander had done.
So now that so they're showing you that all these other nations that had joined Alexander's army, which when you look at the 300, those are a bunch of nations fighting against the 300. Okay? Yeah.
And supposed him disordered in his mind. They thought he was crazy.
Right. Thought the man was bugging out. This nigga is crazy. This damn Edomite is crazy. Yeah.
However, Parmenio alone went up to him and asked him how it came to pass that when all others adored him, he should adore the high priest of
So now he's like, why are you adorning, why are you giving these dudes props and respect, man? Alexander, read.
To whom he replied, I did not adore him, but that YAHAWAH, who hath honored him with his high priesthood.
So now he's giving homage to YAHAWAH, right? That he set up this order of the high priesthood. Read.
For I saw this very person in a dream.
What?
For I saw this very person in a dream.
What?
For I saw this very person in a dream.
So not only did Daniel saw the vision in the dream concerning Alexander the Great coming to conquer over the ram with the two horns, being the goat, the he-goat, the first of the Greeks, but the Most High sent Alexander the Great a dream of his conquest. Another reason why they didn't want to bring this information out, man. It crushes them. It crushes them, man. You see what I'm saying? Yeah.
In this very habit, when I was at Dios in Macedonia, who when I was considering with myself how I might obtain
Dios, Dion, Zeus. Yeah.
how I might obtain the dominion of Asia,
They might get the dominion of Asia. Yeah.
exhorted me to make no delay, but boldly to pass over the sea thither, for that he would conduct my army, and would give me the dominion over the Persians.
Wow. Wow. He was given the vision. How about that? Yeah.
Whence it is that, having seen no other in that habit,
Right. He ain't seen nothing else up until this point. Yeah.
and now seeing this person in it,
Yeah.
and remembering that
And
vision,
remember that what?
vision,
Remember that who?
vision,
What did Daniel have? What did Daniel have in Daniel's the 8th chapter? Let's get it.
Daniel.
Daniel's 8 and 2. 8:1. In the 3rd year of the reign of King Belshazzar, a vision appeared unto me. And this was during the Babylonian captivity. He wasn't even in the Persian and Mede captivity. Babylon captivity lasted 70 years. So this was before, way before Alexander came in the park. Okay? Daniel had that which appeared unto me at the first, and I saw in a vision, and it came to pass when I saw that I was in Shushan, in the place whence is the province of Elam. I saw in a vision. Okay? So now you have to get the timeline of when, in the 3rd year of reign of King Belshazzar. When was King Belshazzar ruling? During the time of Daniel seeing his vision, and when did Babylon was taken down by the Persians and Medes, and the period of time before Alexander came and conquered. So these things was already written. Okay? Read.
Whence is that, having seen no other in that habit, and now seeing this person in it, and remembering that vision, and that exhortation which I had... Exhortation which I had in my dream.
Go ahead.
I believe that...
Which he had in my dream. Okay? So now I'm going to mess with you now. Which he had in his dream. I'm going to mess with you now. Take it how you want to take it. But Numbers says this. Numbers 12. Numbers 12. Take it how you want to take it now. Numbers 12. And 6. And he said, hear now my words. If there be a prophet among you, I, the Most High, will make myself known unto him in a vision, and will speak unto him in a dream. Take that as you want to take it. Okay? The Most High went to Alexander the Great and gave him this vision because he was prophesied during the time of Daniel to come. Okay? And he acknowledged in the dream. Okay? So, hey, was he a prophet?
That's what the Most High said.
Okay? All right? All right, read.
I believe that I bring this army under divine conduct.
Under the what?
Divine conduct.
But then you got people out there saying that the heathens can't have no divine nothing. Right? These people bring forth the doctrine of Cornelius being an Israelite. And I'm going to say it. That I don't believe that. Okay? Alright? It sounds good, but you got to link up 1,000,000 trillion precepts to prove your theory. When Acts 10, right, says Peter, they tell you that he would not go to he would not go to a heathen. Well, I said, let's quote it, man. I'm not even going to go into that subject. Okay? I'm not even going into that right now. Go ahead, read.
I believe
that.
that.
Go to any that is not of my nation. That's not of the Jew. I mean, that's clear. Read.
I believe that I bring this army under divine conduct and shall therewith conquer Darius.
Which he did. Dead.
And destroy the power of the Persians.
Which he's dead. Daniel 8. Read.
Just join the conference.
And that all things will succeed according to what is in my own mind.
We're reading the book. We're reading Josephus, book 11, chapter 8, and we in verse 5. Read.
Will succeed according to what is in my own mind. And when he had said this to Parmenio, and had given the high priest his right hand,
given the high priest his right hand,
the priest ran along by him, and he came unto the city. And when they went up into the temple,
so Alexander was running. The high priest, he given the high priest his right hand, and the priest ran. So he was running. The high priest was holding the hand of Alexander the Great, running to the temple. How about that? Yeah.
And when he went up into the temple.
And he went up into the temple. And he went up into the temple. Go ahead.
He offered sacrifice to Yahawah.
So we have a heathen, Alexander the Great, a Macedonian, that ran holding hands by a high priest into the temple of the Most High, offering sacrifice to the Most High. So that cuts that doctrine out there of what they try to say, that no heathen can have any divine or worship the Most High or give homage to the Most High. That don't make no sense when we have a law of strangers. So that don't make no sense. Okay, because when they go to talk about Cornelius, and I went right back to it. I know this. I'm trying to hammer my. I don't give a damn. I'm gonna come right back and bang on you. Period. Now there was a certain man in Caesarea called Cornelius, a centurion of the band called the Italian band, a devout man, and one that feared the Most High with all his heart. So you're trying to say no nation outside of Israel can be religious or worship the Most High. So how do you explain the law of strangers? How do you explain it? Okay? How do you explain Alexander now? Now this is wrong. Alexander, everything we're reading is Daniel's 8. And Nehemiah. And Ezra. So, what's going on here? I ain't really going on in because I ain't really prepared, but I already went through this thing a little bit before. So I ain't really link up everything like I want to so it can be crispy. Okay? Just wanting you to know. But I will get better and better on it. Read. So Alexander is running with the high priest holding his right hand into the temple of the Most High and giving sacrifice to the Most High. Get it?
According to the high priest's direction.
So the high priest is directing him how to offer the sacrifice to the Most High. Get it?
And magnificently treated both the high priest and priest.
And magnificently he dealt well with the high priest, the Aaronites, and the priests, which are the Levites. Yeah.
And when the book of Daniel was showed him.
Here we go. What book we was reading earlier?
The book of Daniel.
And when the book of Daniel
was showed him wherein Daniel declared that one of the Greeks.
That Daniel declared that one of the Greeks. Right? Let's read it. Get Daniel's 8. Get Daniel's 8 and 21. Let's read it. Daniel's 8 and 21.
This is the book of Daniel, chapter 8, verse 21. And the rough goat is the king of Grecia, and the great horn that is between his eyes is the first king.
It's the first king. So what it said over there, and when the book of Daniel was showed within, Daniel declared that one of the Greeks, Grecia, the first king of the Greeks,
should destroy the empire of the Persians.
Boom! Great!
He supposed that himself.
Was what?
Was the person intended.
Is that a fact? Is that a fact what we read?
Yes.
Okay? So his vision, his dream concerning him coming into power was factual and true. And this man showed love to who? Israel.
Yep.
And showed love to who? The Most High. And recognizes what? Name.
Mm-hmm.
Adore his name. So no heathen can know the name. How you can't know the name, but you had heathens that was amongst Israel, that was our servants and handmaids and everything that heard us say his name. So how they can't say his name? How they not gonna know the name? Like, stop playing, read. Simple. People be simple as hell. Go ahead.
And as he was then glad, he dismissed the multitude for the present. But the next day he called them to him and bid them ask what favors they pleased of him.
Hold up. Now this is King Alexander the Great about to give Israel what? Favor. Go ahead.
Whereupon the high priest desired that they might enjoy the laws of their forefathers.
So the priest said, we want to enjoy the laws of our forefathers. Alexander, go ahead.
And might pay no tribute on the seventh year.
And on the 7th year, we pay no tribute, which is the year of Jubilee.
Yeah.
Okay? Go ahead.
He granted all they desired.
What did Alexander do?
Granted all they desired.
No, he killed them.
Granted all they desired.
Destroyed them.
All they desired, he granted.
He gave them all. So a heathen can't do good, huh? No heathen can do good. That makes you turn around now a little bit. Okay? Get it?
And when they interred.
Because why he did good? Because the Most High made him do it. Okay? Alright? The Most High put the Spirit on him to do favor for Israel. Alright? Period. Okay? So he still did it. Right? He still had to do it. It had to be him to do it. Okay? But the Most High, he rules in the kingdom of men. But the man still had, like, we do whatever we do, but we still know what we doing. So we're like, we are going to church. We don't know what we doing. I know.
The limits.
Right. Go ahead. Some things are just out of people's minds. Read.
He granted all they desired, and when they entreated him, entreated him that he would permit the Jews in Babylon.
Where was Israelites where?
In Babylon.
So there was still Israelites in where?
Babylon.
Babylon during this time. Okay? So how's no Jews going to be in Babylon even during the time of the Romans? Huh? Go ahead. There was Jews in Babylon and where?
Medea.
And Media.
Media.
Go to Acts 2nd chapter right quick, bro. Acts 2nd chapter. Okay? Read verse 22.
This is the book of Acts, chapter 2.
No, man, I'm sorry, read verse 5.
Chapter 2, verse 5. And there were dwelling at Jerusalem Jews, devout men, out of every nation.
So these people was what?
Devout men.
No, they was what?
Devout
Jews.
Jews.
They were what? Read it again.
And there were dwelling at Jerusalem Jews.
They was dwelling in where Jerusalem Jews got
devout men,
religious men, holy men, righteous men, worshiping the Most High. Read.
Out of every nation.
Out of every nation. Can you read? And when they entreated him that he would what? Permit the what? Jews in Babylon and Media to enjoy their own laws also. So now these people, these Jews that was out from every nation, was in what nation? Coming out from what nation? Read verse 8.
Verse 8. And how hear we every man in our own tongue wherein we were born?
Parthians.
Verse 9. Parthians and Medes.
Stop. And Medes, right here, says right where? And when they entreated him that he would permit the Jews in Babylon and Media to enjoy their own laws. So we had Israelites that was in Parthia, Medes,
and Elamites,
which was the Persians came from. The Persians and Elamites,
and the dwellers in Mesopotamia, and in Judea, and in Cappadocia, in Pontus, and Asia. Verse 10. Phrygia and Pamphylia in Egypt.
So we had Israelite Jews in Egypt, right?
And in parts of Libya.
North Africa,
about Cyrene. And strangers of Rome. Jews. And proselytes. Verse 11. Cretes and Arabians.
The same Cretes that was in Timothy's, Arabians. So stop it. Those is Israelites and not damn Gentiles.
That's
right. Cut your damn lies out, you damn devils. Finish reading and Josephus.
Excuse me. Select it. He willingly promised to do hereafter what they desired. And when he said to the multitude that any of them would enlist themselves in his army on this condition, that they should continue under the laws of their forefathers and live according to them, he was willing to take them with him. Many were ready to accompany him in his wars.
So now he recruited Israelites into his army. Okay? And he still promised them that they would keep their own laws. Okay? Because at the end of the day, he's ruling. Okay? So now, Alexander don't seem like a bad guy right here when it came to Israel.
Right.
Okay? Go ahead.
Verse 6. So when Alexander had thus settled matters at Jerusalem, he led his army into the neighboring cities. And when all the inhabitants to whom he came received him with great kindness. The Samaritans.
The who?
Samaritans.
They would have them Samaritans again. Go ahead.
Who had then
in Shechem.
For their metropolis.
See, and remember Shechem during the time of Genesis, when they smashed Dana, right? They got that Canaanite. All right, so these same people. Yeah.
A city situate at Mount Gerizim and inhabited by apostles.
Right, that was the same city and the same mountain that the guy Sanballat promised Manasseh to build a temple in Mount Gerizim, okay? Which was this city is where the Samaritans were at, who had then shipped them for their metropolis. So let's find out if these Samaritans are really Israelites. Because we got people saying that the Samaritans was Israelites too. Okay? All right? There's a remnant or a remnant of all people in every land. But don't try to make Samaria Israel. Because they was not Israelites. We're going to show you right here in Josephus. Read. And we got to finish the one in 2 Kings 17 to prove that. Because we ain't finished it. Get it.
And inhabited by apostates of the Jewish nation.
Was occupied by who?
Apostates. Apostates.
Okay, where you at?
Apostates.
Yeah, apostolates, right? Apostolates, that's what it says?
Right.
The apostates, okay, of the Jewish nation. Inhabited by the apostates of the Jewish nation. Read 2 Kings 17 and verse 22 on down. Okay?
In the book of 2 Kings, verse 17. Chapter 17, verse 22. For the children of Israel walked in all the sins of Jeroboam, which he did, and they departed not from them. Until the Most High, verse 23, until the Most High removed Israel out of his sight, as he had said by all his servants and prophets, and the prophets.
The prophets.
So was Israel carried away out of their own land to Assyria unto this day.
Yeah.
Verse 24. And the king of Assyria brought men from Babylon.
The king of Syria brought men from Babylon, yeah.
And from Shutath, right? Katath. And from Avia. And from Hamath. And from Sepharvaim.
Yeah.
And placed them in the cities of Samaria.
Where you place these people at?
In the cities of Samaria.
Yeah.
Instead of the children of Israel.
So there was an Israelite. Instead of the children of Israel. Go ahead.
And they possessed Samaria and dwelt in the cities thereof.
And dwelt in the city thereof. And when you read on down, it goes into they converted to or customs and all that. Okay? So Israel was removed and they was put in captivity under what? The Assyrians. Okay? On to this day. But that was just talking at that particular time. It was in the reference to there because they came out of the Assyrian Empire when you read the book of what? Judith in the book of Tobit.
Come.
And Esdras. that they took out the Bible. Okay? So apostate is one who abandons one religious faith or political party, one's principle or cause. A person who abandons religion, party, cause. So these people that you were reading about, right, and inhabited by apostates of the Jewish nations, which was not Israelites. Okay, they abandoned their religion, as you read in 2 Kings 17, therefore, and followed our customs.
Right.
Okay? That's when you read on down to 2 Kings 17. Okay, so these heathens that converted to being Jews. Okay? That's why you got these Philosophers Jews. Okay, that's these people here. Alright, so go ahead, brother. Read. And check this out. Read.
Seeing that Alexander had so greatly honored the Jews.
See how Alexander so have what?
Greatly honored the Jews.
Greatly, so now they see that Alexander the Great is greatly admiring us. Let's show you these damn demon nations, man. Go ahead, brother. We're going to show you a thing. This is the same thing that these people do. There's nothing new. Go ahead.
Determined to profess themselves.
What?
They determined to profess themselves as Jews.
Now they see that Alexander the Great showing us love. Says, now they want to be Jews. How about that?
That's right.
Okay? Right? And where also is that same statement mentioned at? In the book of Esther. Okay? In the book of Esther. Right? Go to the book of Esther. Alright? And this is all talking about doing this up to this point too, because this was the ending of the Persian and Median Empire. Okay? But to show you during the time of Esther what was going on here. And where is it? Finish Esther.
We're in the book of Esther, chapter 8, verse 16.
We're going to show you the same thing happened in the Persian and Median Empire during the time of Queen Esther the Benjamite, and when she helped save us from Mordecai and Esther from Harmont, the damn Edomite, okay, that conspired to destroy us during that particular time, okay, and how these heathens cleaved in. Read.
Verse 16. The Jews had light and gladness and joy and honor.
And what?
Honor.
Go ahead.
Verse 17. And in every province and in every city, whithersoever the king's commandment and his decree came,
right,
the Jews had joy and gladness.
We had what?
Joy and gladness.
Joy and gladness. Go ahead.
A feast.
And a what?
A feast.
And a feast. We was feasting like we're feasting now, or the 4th day of Tabernacles, right? I'm sorry, Hanukkah going off. But see, what I did say is that Hanukkah, Feast of Dedication, is patterned after the Feast of Tabernacles. We're going to read about that tomorrow. Yeah. Try to get me.
And the Jews had joy and gladness and a feast and a good day. And many of the people of the land became Jews.
And they became what?
Jews.
And they became Jews. Yeah. So they faking a funk, right? Like these guys over here. Let's go back over here. Okay? And chapter 6. Okay? Read it again from the top. Chapter 6.
So when Alexander had thus...
So we are in the book of Josephus. Okay? Where's the Josephus? I'll put it there. Alright, the book of Josephus. Hold up. The book of Josephus, book 11, chapter 8, verse 6.
So when Alexander had thus settled matters at Jerusalem,
yeah,
he led his army into the neighboring cities. And when all the inhabitants to whom he came received him with great kindness, the Samaritans,
yeah,
who had then
Shechem.
Yeah, Shechem for their metropolis.
So their metropolis city was called Shittim or Shechem. Yeah.
A city
situated, basically, we're saying situated.
A city situated at Mount Gerizim, and inhabited by apostates of the Jewish nation.
Right, which we just read about in 2 Kings 17. Okay, apostates, fake, phony, converts. Get it?
Seeing that Alexander had so greatly honored the Jews.
Same thing over here. The Jews greatly honored the Jews. Alexander, the white man don't want them to know that Alexander admired the Jews, the Israelites, us, black people, Hispanic, Native Americans. They exhort Alexander the Great. The great patriarch and conqueror. But he honored who?
The Jews.
The Jews. The niggas. Yeah.
Determined to profess themselves.
And now they want to profess themselves. So Alexander so greatly honored the Jews, right? Determined himself also to what?
Profess themselves as Jews.
So even Alexander wanted to be a Yehudi, a YAHAWAH. How about that? Okay? How about that? All these heathens want to be what? Israelites. Huh? So just because some people pop up from goddamn, I'm sorry. Y'all got these doctrines of people popping up everywhere talking about the Israelites.
Or the African, I'm African Hebrew.
Everywhere. Damn Israelites. Goddamn E.T. in them is an Israelite. Okay? Everybody's an Israelite now. Read, bro. You know what I'm saying? God dang. Everybody gotta be Israelite. John Travolta is an Israelite. Bruce Lee is an Israelite. Right? The Irish are Israelites. The Italians are Israelites. Your favorite celebrity is an Israelite. Anybody you want to make up is an Israelite.
Bob Marley is an Israelite.
Okay?
Not.
See that? Alright? Just because they dark skin doesn't make them Israelite. Because their fathers could have been white, Chinese, Japanese, Africans, Arabs, East Indian. Like, what's this girl that everybody loved? The rapper girl? Nicki Minaj. Her father is Elon. She's a damn Persian. Okay? A lot of these celebrities are nothing but tares. They have them heathen fathers and black mothers or Hispanic mothers. Okay? Period. Alright? So they want to beat us. So it's nothing new. These people want to beat us. Read.
For such is the disposition of the Samaritans.
So for such is the disposition of these Samaritans wanting to be us.
As we have our...
So it was really saying that these Samaritans determined to profess themselves Jews, okay? Alright? They profess themselves to be Jews, okay? And Alexander worshiped the Most High. Okay? Period. Read.
As we have already elsewhere declared that when the Jews are in adversity...
Read it louder and stronger, brother. You read the main point. Bring out the energy, man. You're going off.
As we have already elsewhere declared that when the...
Where's elsewhere? We just read it in the book of Esther. That's elsewhere. How you going to say this is not the Bible? Right.
As we have already elsewhere declared.
Yeah, we already declared it. Just now.
The book of Esther, chapter 8, verse 16 through 17.
Thank you. Thank thou. Go ahead.
That when the Jews are in adversity.
When we are in adversity, catching hell, picking cotton, going in and out of jail, going niggas bitch, right back to coons, first, last, high. What happened?
They deny that they are of kin to them.
They deny that they are kin to us. They don't profess us. Right? They don't want to be down with us.
truth.
And then they confess the what?
Truth.
Then they confess the truth that what? I mean, that's when they confess the truth. Because he's going to tell you. But they confess the truth that they know they're not what? Israelites. Get it?
But when they perceive that some good fortune hath befallen them.
Oh boy, here we go. Right? Read.
They immediately.
When?
They
immediately. Get
pretend.
What will they do?
Pretend.
No, the Africans are Israelites.
They pretend.
The Ethiopians are Israelites.
Immediately pretend.
Okay, that's what they tried. Yeah.
They immediately pretend.
Pretenders. Yeah.
To have communion with them or us, the Israelites.
Right, the real Jews. Okay, and Israelites. Okay.
Saying that they belong to them, or
saying that they belong to us. Yeah. Okay, yeah.
And derive their genealogy from the prosperity of Joseph, Ephraim, and Manasseh.
So they try to cleave to Joseph's children, to the tribe of Joseph, Ephraim, and Manasseh. Right? Okay, so you got these Negroes trying to make them Hamites, them Ephraimites, and Manassites. That's you doing that same SHIT today. Because you probably damn heathen any damn way on the low. Okay? Okay.
Accordingly, they make their address to the king with splendor.
Coming up there to the king Alexander with splendor. We are the Israelites too. We are the Jews. We derived from Joseph, Ephraim, and Manasseh. Okay?
And showed great alacrity in meeting him at a little distance.
Alacrity, I gotta see what that word alacrity means, man. That sounds like a nice old fancy word. I don't know if we're saying it right, but we're gonna hear it right in a second. Okay? Let's see how we pronounce that word here.
Alacrity.
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 Okay, can y'all hear the way you're supposed to say that word?
Alacrity. 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 Alacrity.
Cheerful, willingness, eagerness. Okay? Right? So they was doing it with what?
Great alacrity.
Great alacrity. I'm going to start using that word. Cheerful, willingness, eagerness. Alacrity. Speed or quickness. Right? You need to move with alacrity. Okay?
Read, show some alacrity.
Show some, thank you. Splendor. Great light or luster brilliance. So they trying to woo Alexander the Great. Yeah.
In meeting him at a little distance from Jerusalem. And when Alexander had commanded them.
Join the conference.
Shalom, welcome to the conference call. I heard somebody just joined in the conference call. Who that just joined in? Welcome, welcome. Go ahead. We in the book of Josephus, book 11, chapter 8, verse 6. Okay, to the person that just got on. Go ahead.
The Shittimites.
The what? And when Alexander had commended them, the Shittimites.
Okay, the Shittimites.
The Shittimites.
The Shittimites approached to him, taking with them troops that Salabat had sent him, and they desired that he would come to their city and do honor to their temple.
So
also.
you see that? So since he came to our temple and showed us honor, now these damn fake pretending Samaritan heathens and want Alexander to do the same thing for them. So they came out with splendor, right? Alacrity, right? I think I said it right.
Alacrity.
Alacrity, right? They came out with what? And they came out with
Alacrity.
all right, trying to perpetrate the damn frauds. Go ahead.
To whom he promised that when he returned he would come to them. And when they petitioned that he would remit the tribute of the 7th year to them, Jubilee.
And when they petitioned that he would remit the tribute of the 7th year to them, so they trying to get the same thing we got, right? That don't get no tribute on the 7th year. Okay, go ahead.
Because they did but so thereon, he asked who they were.
And Alexander the Great said, wait a minute. Who art thou?
That's right.
Who art thou? Okay.
And he asked, who art thou that made such a petition? And when they said that they were Hebrews.
What these damn heathens saying?
They were Hebrews.
They trying to say they us. They Hebrews. Okay? Go ahead.
But it had the name of Sidonians living at Shittim.
But they had the name of Sidonians living at Shittim. Okay? Well, how you going to say you Hebrews in one voice, and then you got the name of you're the Sidonians living at Shittim? Okay? So that is contradicting every damn thing right now. They're trying to play Alexander the Great like he dumb as hell. Okay? And not knowing that the Most High had what? Called him, set him up to do this job. How about that? Alright, they about to get sliced and diced in a second. Okay? Trying to perpetrate the fraud, trying to be us. And you got these Negroes trying to make these damn heathens us right now today. Okay? Yeah, brother.
And he asked them again whether they were Jews. And when they said they were not Jews.
Right, so here's his side, Sidon, a Phoenician city midway between Bertus, Beirut, and Tyre. Okay? Small offshore islands made an excellent point. So these are heathens. These are own damn heathens, period. They're not Israelites, they're Africans. When we put these cats in captivity, these are heathens. Okay? So go ahead. And to tell you right here, that Sidon fell under the power in turn of the Syrian, Babylonian, Persian, Greece, and Rome. Okay? So they was conquered people too. But they wasn't Israelites. Alright? Go ahead.
Okay. He asked them again whether they were...
say it again. Hold on. Let's see how Alexander... I want to be Alexander. Or you be Alexander. Alright? Let's see how it goes. Now, let's read again.
And he asked them again whether they were Jews. And when they said they were not Jews...
Now you should need to read the part. Get where we at. Get where we at. Okay, we in chapter 6. Stay with us, brother. Okay, point 6. Right here. You got it? Hebrews.
But had the name of Sidonians.
Right. Living at Shittim. So let's follow what he reading. You finish reading. Okay. Living at Shittim. Okay?
Living at Shittim.
Not you. Okay. The captain, read.
Alright, living at Shittims. He asked them again whether they were Jews, and when they said they were not Jews, it was...
Now hold on, you say you're not Jews. And he said, I'm not asking. Are you Jews?
They were not Jews.
No, you acting now.
Okay.
You them. I'm Alexander. You them.
Okay.
You re-narrate and you play the part. Stop looking at the thing, man. What's going on, brother? You read the part.
And he asked them again whether...
Are you Jews? Are you the Jews? This man is going off. He said, yo, you can't act for me, man. Are you the Jews?
No.
I thought you were taking the Jews. Yeah, go really.
But it was to the Jews, said he, that I granted that privilege.
It was to the Jews that I granted that privilege. Negro. Go ahead.
However, when I return,
this is what Alexander is saying to these niggas that was perpetrating a fraud. Right? He said, I'll read it again. Alright? And when they petitioned that he will remit the tribute of the 7th year to them, because they did not sow thereon, he asked, Alexander asked who they were that made such a petition. Who art thou? And when they said that they were Hebrews, but the name of the Sidonians living at Shittim, he asked them again whether they were Jews. And when they say what?
We are not.
Then Alexander said it was to the Jews, said he. Now he just lied and said you the Hebrews, you Jews. Now you lied, you caught. They said, I granted this prayer, however, when I return, and I am thoroughly informed by you of this matter, I will do what I shall think proper. So when he comes back, he will set it on them. Okay? And then this man, he took leave of the Shittilites. They almost sound like shitlings.
Yeah,
Somebody like shitlings, right? But ordered that the troops of the Sanballat should follow him into Egypt, because there he designed to give them lands, which he did a little after in Thebes when he ordered them to guard the country. So we're on the last chapter, the last verse. The last verse. Okay, so now Alexander went into Egypt, trying to take over Egypt. Okay? And this was his last stand up. This was his last stand, I believe, after this. Okay?
Verse 7. Now when Alexander was dead.
Now Alexander was dead. He went to campaign in Egypt, didn't make it. Go ahead.
The government was parted among his successors.
The government was parted among his successors. Is that in the Bible? Go to the book of Daniel, the 8th chapter. Okay? Unlocking the mysteries of the Bible. All glory goes to Abanaw YAHAWAH SHAM MASHAYACH YAHAWASHI. Daniel the 8th chapter, and read the 8th verse. Daniel 8 and 8.
In the book of Daniel, chapter 8, verse 8. Therefore the he-goat waxed very great. And when he was strong, the great horn was broken. And for it came up 4 notable ones toward the 4 winds of heaven. Verse 9. And out of one of them came forth a little horn.
Stop. Read again.
Verse 9. And out of one of them came forth a little horn.
No. Therefore the he-goat waxed great, and when he was strong, the great horn was broken, and for it came up 4 notable ones toward the 4 winds of heaven. Read what you read over here in chapter in Josephus again.
Now when Alexander was dead, the government was parted among his successors. Now when you go to Daniel 8 and 22, read. You get Daniel 8, you get Apocrypha Maccabees 1. Okay. We book of Daniel chapter 8 verse 22. Now that being broken, whereas 4 stood up for it.
What? 4? What?
4 stood up for it.
4 stood up for it, which was Alexander, because he died. Go ahead.
4 kingdoms shall stand up out of the nation.
4 kingdoms shall stand out of the nation. Go ahead.
But not in his power.
But not in his power, because all these generals is going to be ruling in their own power. Okay? Now read 1 Maccabees 1, and we'll start with verse 4.
This is the first book of Maccabees in the Apocrypha, chapter 1, verse 4. And he gathered a mighty strong host.
Start with verse 1 and read all through, so people that see it later can get the whole understanding. Read now, 1 Maccabees chapter 1, verse 1.
First book of Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 1. And it happened after that Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Shittim, and smitten.
See, Shittim. Go ahead.
Had smitten Darius, king of the Persians, and Medes, that he reigned in his stead, the first over Greece.
Go ahead.
And made many wars, and won many strongholds, and slew the kings of the earth. Verse 3. And went through the ends of the earth, and took spoils of many nations, and so much that the earth was quiet before him.
Yeah, quiet, sure, read.
Whereupon he was exalted, and his heart was lifted up.
Yeah.
Verse 4. And he gathered a mighty strong host, and ruled over countries, and nations, and kings, who became tributaries unto him. Verse 5. And after these things he fell sick, and perceived that he should die. Verse 6. Wherefore he called his servants, such as were honorable.
Such as what?
Honorable.
Honorable. Now when you read over here, right, in verse, was it 8? Yeah, finish reading. Finish reading.
And had been brought up with him from his youth, and parted his kingdom among them.
Right. So it's Daniel 8 and 8. And therefore read Daniel 8 and 8. You got it? You still there? So remember this, read the whole verse again. I want you to listen to this, people. Read it again.
6. Okay. Wherefore he called his servants, such as were honorable, and had been brought up with him.
Honorable, and that was brought up with him. Okay? Yeah.
From his youth.
From his youth. So these are his homeboys. Okay? Alright? So when you look over there, what word was the key word in the Apocrypha was what? Honorable. And Daniel 8 and 8, read it.
In the book of Daniel chapter 8 verse 8. Therefore the he-goat waxed very great, and when he was strong, the great horn was broken, and for it came up.
The great horn, Alexander the Great. Go ahead.
The great horn was broken, and for it came up 4 notable ones.
4 notable ones, and over here they call them what? Honorable.
Honorable.
Notable. Honorable. Notable. Honorable. Same thing. 4. Okay? And who are these 4 people that it's talking about? It's talking about Cassandra, Ptolemy, Antagonist, and Seleucus. And we fell up under the Seleucus dynasty. Okay? Alright? So Ptolemy went down into Egypt. Okay? Seleucus stayed over there in around Jerusalem, around that area there. Okay? And then you have the rest of these 4 generals that took over Asia. Okay? Asia Minor, and over there going towards Italy and all that stuff like that, okay? Alright? So you can look up these 4 generals. Okay? This is Bible history. Okay? And you want to say that this ain't true. We fell upon the Diadochi dynasty. I believe it was the Diadochi dynasty, which we fell up under the Hellenistic period. Okay? Under Seleucus dynasty. Okay? The Ptolemy dynasty was in Egypt. It would last up to the 30 BCE. Okay? So you can look up these different things. Okay? So that's showing you that the Bible is prophetic. Okay? It is prophesying about the Greek Empire and going into what we call the Feast of Dedication and Hanukkah. And that after Alexander the Great, a certain king was going to pop up. Okay, so we're going to finish reading over here, which was Antiochus, because he was that evil root that we're going to read about tomorrow. Okay? That's why in verse 9 it says, and out of one of them came forth a little horn, which waxed exceedingly great toward the south and toward the east and toward the pleasant land, and it waxed great even to the host of heaven. This was talking about Antiochus. Okay? This is talking about Antiochus. Okay? So finish reading verse 7 in Josephus.
Verse 7.
And even in the Maccabees, it tells you the same thing. It tells you in verse 10, and there came out of them a wicked root, Antiochus. Okay? Antiochus, surnamed Epiphanes, son of Antiochus the king, who had been in hostage at Rome. The Roman Empire, Rome was around that period too, but they wasn't in power. Okay, to rule the whole world. Okay? So go ahead. Finish reading verse 7.
Verse 7. Now when Alexander was dead.
I'm sorry, I should have told you guys you could go on the BibleStudyTools.com to read the online Josephus. Okay? I should have said that earlier. Go ahead. Too late now, right? Way too late. Go ahead.
Now,
I'm sorry, I should have told everybody from the beginning. You could have went to the online Josephus, okay, BibleStudyTools.com, History of the Flavius Josephus, Antiquity of the Jews, Book 11, Chapter 8. Y'all can start from Chapter 7 and Chapter 8. So that's everybody's homework to go online, right, and Google or just type in BibleStudyTools.com. And it goes into the History of the Flavius Josephus, Antiquity of the Jews, Book 11, Chapter 7 and 8. And you'll read everything on your own that we was going through tonight. Okay? So again, sorry, going off.
Verse 7. Now when Alexander was dead.
He was what?
Dead.
Yeah.
The government was parted among his successors.
Right. And who was his successors' names? That's on the test too. This is going to be on the test for thous, twos, peoples. We're going to have tests in the army. Cassandra, Ptolemy, Antagonist, and Seleucus. Okay?
But the temple upon Mount Gerizim remained. And if anyone were...
So they built the temple. The temple still was there. So the temple was built. Yeah?
And if anyone were accused by those of Jerusalem of having eating things common or of having broken the Sabbath.
So if anyone were accused of those of Jerusalem of eating things common, right? Or having broken the Sabbath, eating was common in the land because what they ate was common, was not common for us as Israelites.
Unclean.
It was unclean. Okay, or broken the Sabbath. Get
or of any other crime of the like nature,
which is against the law. Get
he fled away to the Shittites.
He fled away into what?
To the Shittites.
Is that in the Bible? In the Apocrypha? In the Maccabees? Yes. We would go over that tomorrow. But it's written, you can read 1st and 2nd Maccabees, and you'll find out where these dudes who didn't want to, who converted to these damn things, fled into these different countries. I'm trying to find it right now. But God,
and said that he was accused unjustly. About this time, it was that Jaddua, the high priest, died, and Onias, his son, took the high priesthood. This was the state of the affairs of the people of Jerusalem at this time.
Okay? So now, about the time of Jaddua, the high priest died, Onias, his son, took the high priest. This was the state of the affairs of the people of Jerusalem. And when you start reading about Onias, this is going into Judas Maccabees' forefathers or grandfather, because it says in those days arose Matthias, the son of John, the son of Simon, a priest of the sons of Joreb from Jerusalem, and dwelt in Modin. Okay, so we were reading about Joreb and okay, Eliad, okay, from Jerusalem and dwelt in Modin. So this is all the lineage going up to Matthias Maccabees. Okay, going into Judas Maccabees. Okay, so this is the first portion of our Hanukkah celebration. I mean, we went through some Hanukkah scriptures and different classes during the feasts and things of that nature, but I ain't really get a chance to go. I wanted to make sure I go through this part first to go into everything that was going on that's mentioned in the book of Maccabees. Okay? So now we got a history timeline from where? From the Persian and Mede Empire. Going into Alexander taking down the Persian and Medes. And then entering into the death of Alexander. And then we're going into the Seleucid dynasty under Epiphanes. Antiochus Epiphanes. Okay? Alright? So now you can put all these timelines in order when you go into the book of Nehemiah, you go in the book of Esdras, Daniel's, you know what I'm saying? They put everything together. Okay? Alright? So that's the end of the class. All praise and all glory to YAHAWASHI, MASHAYACH. Those of you that stood firm for the last 3 hours and a half. Can we start at 10:30? Right? All praise and glory to you. I hope you learned something.
That's right.
Okay? I hope it was interesting. Alright? So this is your brother Maraka Ponyawara Ponyashala for our first portion. Edit World's Goings On. This is our first portion of going into the history of Alexander the Great. Okay? Leading up until Matthias Maccabees, the 4 generals, and then Antiochus Epiphanes, and going into Matthias Maccabees and Judas Maccabees. Okay? So we're going to go over that portion mañana, tomorrow. Huh?
Come on.
Hallelujah.
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 And you off tomorrow, right?
Who's off?
You.
I'm not off tomorrow. I got to do the work for the Most High.
Come on. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. So everybody join the conference. Hallelujah. So wherever you at, eat, pop a bottle, some wine, get it popping, have some fun, enjoy thyself. You know what I'm saying? And hey, we might just play an outro song for y'all. Okay? Which song should we play for the brothers and sisters? Any particular Army of Israel song or track you brothers and sisters like or heard? You know, because we putting out this music, and I cannot forget to say, all right, that the 8th Hebrew Israelite Summit, okay, is coming up in January 26th to the 30th in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, hosted by LOZ, the Light of Zion. Okay? And we have a unity concert that Sunday, and AOI NYMG is going to be in the building bringing forth these hot tracks for your listening ears. Okay? So make sure that you make this trip. AOI is going to be leading out of Dayton, Ohio, okay, with a 12-passenger van, okay?
That's right.
So if you're en route, holler at us and you can get on the bus. Okay? You got to pay for your ticket, though. Now, if you're jacked up and you just want to make it, we might got an extra seat for you on the top. And we get a ride for free all the way to Florida.
Just keep your mouth closed.
And hold his on. No, we just playing, man, but we gotta have a little humor and everything, okay? So, all praise and glory, and I'm gonna play this track, outro's track, from my brother Karat Zaya, Captain Karat Zaya, Someday, No More, and it's a beautiful track, okay? And I once I hook up to this, I want that to play. I want you to come from the worlds. Alright? So cut that on right there. Cut the power on. Okay? Come now, we in the world. Should we be in the world? Should we be in the world now since you cut that on?
Yeah.
Just press the button, bro.
It's unplugged.
Is the power cord unplugged?
I think something unplugged.
Yeah, it's unplugged. It came out. Okay? Alright, so cut it on, put it on CD. Alright. Did I see what's good? Nope.
All praise. Stay encouraged, Yashala. It's only temporary. Alright? The curses are almost, this project is called Someday No More. Someday, we ain't gonna be up under these conditions. We ain't gonna be under these curses. You just gotta sing to him, brother. It'll be no more homework, no more books. get to me. So one day, the prophecies of the children of YAHAWAH will be fulfilled, and we will be going home. Everything that's been documented in the entire book that's called the Torah was written about the so-called Negroes and our captivity, the Hispanics and the North American Indians, the 12 tribes of Israel, our repentance and our return. No more these Asian niggas claiming they Jake when they work for Satan. No more hydrogenated peanut oil to break your concentration. Didn't know that, did you? Yeah, that's nature, real wicked. Give you the worst of the food for you to feed your children. Matter of fact, while we on the subject, might as well get at that. Baby mama's gonna be mad, but it's gonna be no food stamps. It's a blessing though, you gotta understand these things. The Most High gonna provide for us. 2 rivers, 2 trees, 1 seed, 3, boy, that's the mark of the beast. How you gonna teach the people you ain't got permission to speak? No more COINTELPRO, bro, up under Islam. Want me to come to your class for a second? Man, get gone. Cause it's universal, this is rehearsal. And in a one camp or one school got it all, don't take it personal. Interpretation what the scriptures say. 2 Peter 1:20, the literature tell you Buster's name. So we don't have to come together up under one specific school or banner. Remember, y'all, your nationality is the camp. The 2 times that camp was used most prolifically in the Bible when the Most High was around our whole nationality. And this last time is the way he's gonna redeem us and take us out of this place of captivity. And he's gonna fight for the camp of Israel. See, after this, we gonna be all winning and all in it. When it comes to the law, we gonna be all in it. Man, woman, and child, go gather your nothings. After this summit, we are one step closer to sons coming in. There'll be no more division, no more camp begging, no more out of order. Sit your black butt back, go read the Torah. No more harvesting his people's organs. This heart pumps you the blood. The first people of the earth same color as the mud. Switch your teeth so your people's are bottom feeders, and we see you. No more white lies, no more white heights, no more white Easter. No more white washing my black mind with a white Jesus. No more Saturnalia, no more pagan worship. No more babies of this nation being blatantly murdered. No more abortion.